Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Top Rope Renegades. This is episode number 19. And we are, as you can see behind me, I am outside of Wembley Stadium at this very moment. My co-host, my counterpart, RK, is not
Mr. Olivier. How's it going? Did you get my email?
still.
Yeah? No, we're cool? We're good? Yeah? No? Absolutely perfect. Yeah, I would have called, but it was extremely loud. It's still loud in here. It's crazy, but I got a moment to give you a call here, so I just want to make sure we're cool for the show tonight. All right, cool. Yeah, no. Yeah, we'll continue to strive to be the best weekly wrestling podcast on the planet. We are close. We're getting there. We will be there. And yeah, no, the opening, yeah, no, I'm working on it. I mean, you remember those videos from the Attitude Era, WWE, the ones that just made you go, oh, god damn, I got to watch that show. Yeah, no, that's this video. It takes time, but we'll get there. All right, cool. All right, yeah, no, perfect. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Kurt?
Hey, man, what's going on?
I got some great news for you. Great news.
Okay,
I just got off the phone with Mr. Olivier there, and he said we're good. We got an overrun. We're good. We can go 4 or 5 hours tonight. We're good.
Oh, okay. That works perfect.
Yeah, we're good.
Mr. Olivier, I haven't met this man yet. But
he's the dude.
He's the guy.
The dude.
You're right.
He's the dude.
He's the guy.
He's the dude.
Yeah. Well, you haven't met up with me yet. You're still in the building.
I mean, I couldn't leave. I mean, the crowd's still going nuts for Danielson winning. It's insane.
Still yes. Okay.
Still yes. It's
okay.
You probably can't hear it. I mean, I'm kind of great filter on this mic, but yeah, I'm up in the press box here. There's nobody they gave us a whole section. It's unreal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they did. I was able to get out quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't leave.
Understood. But yeah, this is Top Rope Renegades episode 19. This is a bit of a super show. We are in London at this moment, live from Wembley Stadium.
Absolutely, true story.
Just got done watching All in London from Wembley Stadium. We're gonna dive, of course, into that. They give you coffee up there? I didn't get.
I got everything. They gave me these things, man. Ghost. I mean, the camera's acting weird. I don't quite get it. I don't understand.
I don't know what's going on with the camera.
It's like it's a Wi-Fi connection. I think there's a lot of people using their cell phones in here.
Yeah, that makes sense. But anyways, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This is our special episode. We're of course late than our normal date just because we had to travel to London.
Flight time. It's
travel flights. But we're here. We're doing a special super show here. In a sense, we're gonna hit on Dynamite, little tidbits that need to be talked about. RK is gonna run through those before we dive into the recap from Wembley Stadium. Of course, we have your news, we have your rumors, you have your innuendo, and we will of course get into WWE as well, from SmackDown, Raw, and NXT from the past week. With that being said, RK, I'm gonna kind of hand the reins to you. I don't have Dynamite ready to rock here, but if there's anything we need to hit on pre All In, I know there may be something from Collision we should note too. I think that added to the All In pay-per-view with the ladder match. For
you'd be stretched to find me giving you any news on Collision.
Oh no, I don't watch Collision myself. But yeah, it's my camera, man. It's so weird outside.
It's weird. It's a Wi-Fi thing.
Yeah, it's the Wi-Fi. But yeah, anyway, anything on
Dynamite? The Brits, they're still living in the 18th century. So
yeah, horse and buggy. So yeah, anything on Dynamite we need to hit on before we dive into All In Wembley?
Hot take. This go home show for AEW felt like a WWE go-home show in the way that they really got the storylines tied together for the upcoming matches at All In. I did enjoy that. I thought they actually did a good job on that for once. They really hammered home that these matches that were happening this weekend were big matches with Britt and Monet, MJF and Ospreay, and then Swerve and Danielson. They really hit it home with those. So I did enjoy that quite a bit. The matches, I mean, not a whole lot of match-wise. Like I said, it really felt like a WWE go-home show in the way that they hammered home the stories. So we had the opening with Britt and Mercedes, which was cool to bring that as the opening. One really funny take. It's Britt's I promise not to get violent, but just a little. I laughed. I was like, okay. So and then we had Chris Jericho versus Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid. All I could think of is, dude, if you're already going bald at that age, you probably just shave it off. That
Let it go.
hairstyle was killing me, absolutely killing me. Yeah, Jericho with the code breaker off the top rope, if I remember correctly, that was pretty sick. So for the win, that was pretty cool. Jericho's Jericho, man. I mean, he recently said all the people telling me to retire is like, why would I retire? I got a 6-pack. I can still do a moonsault. Why would I retire? What else do we got here? Big Bill, Jericho, they all beat up Hook after the match.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. So, we get to that at All In, what happens. But you know how that goes when you get a beat down on the go-home show. We had Saraya versus Tony Storm. There was a moment of this where they were back and forth. And if you remember correctly, Bailey and Becky did the exact same little back and forth. And I saw a couple side-by-side videos and asking who did it better. And, of course, because we're a bunch of fucking WWE marks over here, Becky and Bailey did it better. And that's unless you're so blinded by the fact that no, Becky and Bailey did it better. The one you watch it a few more times between Tony and Saraya, and it was sloppy. There was the one moment that they changed it up where Tony was doing little kicks and Saraya was trying to grab her. I laughed at that. That was funny. But yeah, no. Tony picks up the win over Saraya. Saraya's contract is up in September. There's a lot of talk about going on there. There are options to pick up extra years, but we'll see where that goes. We'll have a bit more on that in the news. Mariah May jumps Tony Storms after the match, leaves her laying in a pile. Once again, that usually indicates one thing or another. Once again, we'll get to that all in. It just happened. We just watched it. It was awesome. Well, some of it was awesome. We'll get to there. Conglomeration is ready for Collision All In. Mark Briscoe is rather animated, as you might expect. As per usual, Mark Briscoe just being Mark Briscoe. Fun times, good times. Always a good time with him. And Kyle O'Reilly just getting like, I'm fucking ready to go. So it's like fucking, he gets Kyle ramped up, and that's good. That's good. Kyle be happy. Best segment of the night. MJF Ospreay. We knew MJF was going to cook, and he did not disappoint. And Will Ospreay, he held his own. I mean, Ospreay is known as the best wrestler right now, purely on skill alone. It's if you just go on pure skill, yes, he's probably the best wrestler around right now, period. If you put it all into a big package, he's top 3. This promo really, he did good. He held his own, especially against a guy like MJF. MJF is a master on the mic, and he cooked him here. The line about, I talked to your wife earlier today, and I have a feeling that your next kid isn't going to be your kid either. That's heel shit, man. That's heel shit. That's MJF. Like, you can't beat that. That is so good. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, that was a long segment, which why it felt like WWE, because they had a lot of talking in this show, and it worked. And it's kind of weird how it worked. Why does that work so well? And then if you just have a match, a couple of matches that mean nothing, it doesn't hit as good. Weird. Maybe, there's a formula to this whole thing that makes people enjoy the shit out of it. Let's see. Continental title. Claudio versus Okada.
Oh, yeah. If I remember correctly, it was okay. It was a good match, but like
I was just looking at my notes here, seeing if there's anything that popped out. Nothing really popped out. It went to the time limit. Nothing major. I mean, Okada, so good. And then he's been nothing in AEW. Absolutely nothing. He's been a joke.
I haven't seen that New Japan Okada.
Exactly what everybody said would happen if he signed with WWE is happening in AEW. He's a joke. Yep. He truly is.
Agreed.
Which is sad because the stuff we saw, Okada, and his other championship matches, against Naito and all that shit, banner matches, good matches. As soon as in AEW, it's like, this guy is not even top 10 right now. It's ridiculous. They got to figure that out, because I can't imagine, is Okada happy doing this shit? Like, this dude was top tier in New Japan, and now he's mid at best.
He's having some fun.
Then we had FTR, Darby Allin versus Young Bucks and Jack Perry. We'll get to the news in the news between Meltzer and the Young Bucks and their contract and their appearances, and proving once again why Dave Meltzer's just a fucking idiot. But it's great. The guy just shoves his foot in his mouth every day, and we're here to catch it. So he was at the press conference. He's at the press conference, right?
He was at the press.
I think I saw him walk by. He got a lot of boos, which was weird coming from AEW fans because the dude's like employed by AEW. But
he was. I saw him. He looks like a bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Brian Alvarez was in tow, fucking carrying his duffel bags. The two guys are freaking
weirdos, man. Weirdos.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, no, that match. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so the coffin drop finishes Nick Jackson at 9 minutes 57 seconds. The FTR and Darby pick up the win here. It was a good little quick match. I mean, just setting up for the weekend, really honestly. Then Bryan Danielson comes up to Will Ospreay after in the backstage. Bryan Danielson's just like, do it. And, they allude. So just for all the AEW fans there that can't follow his story, he's talking about the Tiger Driver and how Ospreay won't do it. Yeah. So Bryan Danielson was just saying, hey, man, it's cool. I know you retired because you hurt me, but you can do it. Just want to let all you AEW fans know what he was actually talking about. Because they didn't hand feed it to you. You had to think about it for a second. So
it was pretty obvious.
Well, I mean, it's story. Am I like, oh, I'm laggy. Are you laggy? Well,
no, I'm good. I'm great.
I hope that's just me.
It's the internet connection at Wembley. You're fine.
It's horrible. Anyways, nonetheless, where was I? Oh, yeah, Nigel McGuinness comes out. He is going to moderate the final between Swerve and Danielson. This is obviously because Nigel hates Danielson, so that's clear as day. This was good again, man. Swerve is so good. And after All In here, a little disappointed, but Swerve, so good. This dude is AEW. He's top of the game. He's top tier. He is AEW. This is your guy. And what happened at All In, just Tony Khan wanted his WrestleMania 30 moment, and he fucking got it tonight. He's he's a mark that he just wanted his WrestleMania 30 moment, and he got it tonight. And
there is people on Twitter already saying, unpopular opinion, Danielson's win at All In was better than the WrestleMania 30 win.
No.
It is unpopular because it's fucking wrong. Not a chance.
That's wrong. Well, okay, we're getting into it right now. No, it's not, because Bryan Danielson, if you go back, if you understand the whole backstory to Danielson, he came in, he got released multiple times by WWE. He wasn't good enough to be in WWE. He fought, scratched tooth and nail to get back in. He got back in. He built himself up to where he made himself so undeniably the best thing in the product that he forced Vince McMahon and all those guys to put the title on. He beat Batista and Orton and Triple H all in one night to win that title. How can you tell me that's a less of a moment than tonight? Get the fuck out of here. Anywho, we'll get to it.
I'm still struggling with the finish. That's just me.
No, Swerve was your guy. And now I asked you at the end of the show, it's like, how do you get the title back on Swerve? What do we do now? There's already talks about Darby taking the title at some point. We got Bryan Danielson and Christian Cage at All Out. Is that how it's going? And then at Grand Slam, we got Darby against Danielson because Darby has a world title. I don't know who's in the title. It seems like everybody's in the title shot right now because they have no cohesive storylines or anything. They just got like 4 number 1 contenders right now, and I don't even know who's next for the title. But I think it's Darby. But nonetheless, we'll get into that too because Christian Danielson is kind of wild to think as your main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was joking.
It's probably going to happen. It's just, hey, you know, how are you going to put butts in the seat? Get 2 WWE superstars to main event your fucking pay-per-view. Anyways, nonetheless, that's about it. That's about it. Another wild thing off of this, why Swerve is so good. Brie Bella told one of the dirt sheets that Birdie, which is Bryan Danielson's kid, a daughter, said that he wants her dad to lose this weekend because she wants him to be at home and be a dad. And Swerve, savage as that guy is, responded to the tweet saying, "Don't worry, Birdie, I got you." Oh, that's savage. That's savage.
He's incredible. Swerve's fantastic.
So how do you not have that guy as your champion right now is beyond me. Especially, you know, Danielson's a vet. He should have gone out on his shield. He knows how the business works, especially since he says he's retiring. Like, what are we doing? But
it's
anyways,
a very
nonetheless,
interesting prospect. I don't know what's going to happen.
We'll see how they go with it. I don't have a whole lot of faith that AEW is going to do it in the right way, but hey, that match was probably one of the top 5 matches of the year, actually.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
Like all together, great match.
Agreed. Well, that was what happened on the Dynamite to Go Home show before here, all in London. We got a lot of stuff to get to from London. And just to add on to it, at Collision, if I'm not mistaken, was when the addition to the AEW Trios Championship happened with Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club. Was that Collision that they solidified that? So that also happened before All In. With that being said, there is a lot of matches to get to. We're going to kind of skirt through 0 Hour. We didn't watch 0 Hour. We were late getting to the stadium.
We were out partying all night, and you know,
the time change kind of,
you know,
it messes with you.
50,000, you know, a half full stadium. It's hard to get into sometimes. So
yeah, we'll just blame it on the drinking the night before, the good party, and the Brits, man, they know how to party. They know how to party a little bit. But yeah, so we missed out on the 0 Hour, but don't worry, we got there for the main card. 0 Hour was hosted by Renee Paquette, Jeff Jarrett, and RJ City. There was a couple hints here to talk about. Nigel McGuinness basically saying that the version of Bryan Danielson we're going to see is probably with his back against the wall, saying that Danielson has awful timing and that his time is going to run out. And he hoped God would see the end of Bryan Danielson's career if the clouds were clear. So Nigel McGuinness still hating Bryan Danielson. We did miss out on Renee Paquette interviewing Brie Bella. Brie Garcia is her name. Basically saying that some of what Swerve has said have wanted her to throw punches. She believed Danielson would give Swerve the karma that he deserves. Said that Danielson would walk out tonight, but if he were to lose, it would be a beautiful way to end his career. If it ended. So there was that. And then this happened. Swerve Strickland signed a renewal to his contract on 0 Hour with Tony Khan.
I heard rumors about that a couple days ago that was happening. Yeah.
So they did that on air during 0 Hour. Then we had this big match here. I'm going to kind of run through it. It was just a 0 Hour match. Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Action Andretti, Leo Rush, and Top Flights Dante Martin and Darius Martin, taking on Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Anthony Ogogo, Arya Davari, Private Party, and Dark Order.
Wait,
with what?
You said Satnam Singh?
Yeah.
Was Raj there?
No.
But they're okay, cool. That's weird.
The first team I named, the team of Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, all of them were the ones that picked up the win. We got an announcement that AEW is going to Australia for Grand Slam on February 15th, 2025. They'll be heading there to do one of their pay-per-views. The next match on 0 Hour was the mixed tag team match between Tomorrow Ishii and Willow Nightingale, taking on the team of Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Ishii and Willow picked up the win, with Ishii pinning Stokely Hathaway.
Wow, look at all the people down there. It's wild.
Yeah, why are they still there? Like, Anyway,
It's
the mic, your mic
nonstop.
quality, your mic quality, like
I got the
that's
window.
good.
I'm right in front of a window. It doesn't look like it, but it's a very clean window. They do a good job of cleaning their windows here.
Yeah, good for them. What do we got here? There was a Tony Schiavone interview with Tony Khan and Dr. Martha Hart. He wished good luck. Hart wished good luck to the Foundation tournament finalists in their title matches later. AEW then announced that they would be returning to England next year alongside New Japan for the Forbidden Door on August 24th, 2025.
Cool. Just take all my news. That's fine.
I'm just reading the rundown.
That was like my whole news page. Now we don't even have to do the news.
Fine.
Kidding.
I'm just reading the news.
We have to do the news. The news is our best segment. It's our highest reviewed segment.
It is our highest rated
segment. Our openers and our news. I get lots of comments from my buddy about it. So shout out to my buddy, Shane. He's awesome. He watches our episodes every week. I just want to give a shout out to Shane. He watched his first AEW show. This All In was his first AEW show, and he was texting me. I'm just like, wow, this guy's never watched an AEW show, and he's picking apart all the things, that's wrong with the company right off the hop.
That's hilarious.
It's glaringly obvious, and that's wild because this guy doesn't even really watch much wrestling anymore, except for the last little while because I got him back into it with our show. But nonetheless, he just is like, why is there more titles than wrestlers? This makes no sense.
Oh, buddy, you got a lot.
He's like, every match has been a title match, and I'm pretty sure I saw other titles that weren't in matches. I'm like, yep, you did.
Tune in on Wednesdays. You can watch Dynamite, and you can figure it all out for yourself. Or
I invited him to watch an episode with us, so we might get a third guy in here.
All right, let's do it. I can send him a link anytime. We can have more than one person. The next match on 0 Hour: Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Shibata, and the Von Erichs taking on the Cage of Agonies, Brian Cage, Kuana, and Toa Leone, and the Undisputed Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. The team of Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Shibata, and the Von Erichs picked up the win. The Cage of Agony and Undisputed Kingdom attacked the winners after the match, but Kevin Von Erich confronted them for the winners, and Kevin Von
confronted them. I'm allowed. No, it's cool. Okay.
Yeah, guy
was just giving me a shit about vaping. I'm allowed. I'm pressed. I'm cool. It's cool. We're good. Okay.
Be careful, dude. We got to show this dude. Don't get thrown out.
No, it's cool. I told you. He just gave me the thumbs up. We're good. He knows we're the big deal. We are Top Rope Renegades, motherfucker.
Yeah, get the picture, man.
I'm RK. He's Kurt. We're the shit.
The winners of the Von Erichs and Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Shibata all put the Iron Claw alongside Kevin Von Erich on the members of Cage of Agony and Undisputed Kingdom to close that 0 Hour match out. Up next, Soraya, Harley Cameron, and the entire Knight family appeared in the ring. Cameron asking everyone in the crowd to simmer down because Soraya was pissed. Soraya said the show would not continue until she got the respect she deserved, and she got not respect, but the return of Jamie Hayter to AEW. She made her return and took out took everyone out in sight. And Hayter, of course, hit her finisher, the Haterade, on Cameron and got a standing ovation, Wembley Stadium. Bringing Jamie Hayter back on the pre-show is kind of weird. I thought she was a bigger deal than that, but.
Well, I mean, you also have Soraya, who's a hometown hero.
Right. So, I mean,
she's on the 0 Hour show.
So is Jamie. Jamie's local, too.
Yeah, but Soraya's probably like
the
first mainstream women's British wrestler to make it big.
Oh, for sure. You could have had, I don't know, Soraya come out at the end of the Mariah and Tony thing, and then she's talking shit, and then Jamie comes back, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. I think you'd have done something better, because, I mean, Soraya deserves better. And we'll get to it in the news because of her contract, but and the rumors and stuff. But, I mean, Soraya's, she turned wrestling on its head for women. She really did.
All righty. Well, that is the pre-show, and Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness are the first broadcast team out there to kick off the show. It is the AEW Trios Championship, the London Ladders match. Patriarchy's Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne taking on House of Black's Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King taking on Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn. And then finally the team of Pac and Blackpool Combat Clubs, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler, Utah. RK? What'd you think of this match that we watched live in person?
Man, it was fun. It was fun, I guess, but I mean, it still pisses me off to no end that Pac is back with the Blackpool Combat Club because he betrayed them like a year ago at Blood and Guts, just walked out on them. And the fact that they're totally cool now and they're champions together kind of just like, there's not even a mention of, not even a like, hey man, I'm sorry for the shit I did like nothing. It just happens. So I don't like that. But you know, giving a title to your hometown kid in Pac makes sense in a way to just kind of cater to the fans. Overall, I mean, it was just chaotic match.
Everybody hitting high spots, everybody jumping off stuff, and
yeah, there's moments that was just weird. They got to a spot and they repeated it like 5 times, and then went to another spot and repeated that 5 times. I was just like, yeah, no, that's cool, but mix it up a bit. I don't know.
The guns hitting the wise up and the get the tables. They did that. They had that spot. We had I really thought it was going to happen. Mother Wayne climbing the ladder to retrieve the titles, getting taken down, and then on the outside, I thought Juice was going to hit her and put her through the table.
I'm putting this out now. If I run into Mother Wayne later at the bar and I've had like 2 or 3 beers and she asks, I'm going.
That's all you, as long as you're happy. Anyway.
Hey, Mother Wayne's a beautiful woman.
She is something. The match itself was pretty good. We can get to the finish here. There was a finish with some hairspray or whatever it was. Mother Wayne handed to Christian, who
that was kind of fun with the chair.
Yeah, she went to hit Juice with the spray, and Juice had a chair in his hand and just blocked it. And then I thought, she's going through a table. Didn't. Buddy Matthews tried to climb the ladder. Christian Cage catches him with a spear through the table. Killswitch got Cage and pulled him to the top of the ladder, but Pac caught him top of the ladder, booted him in the head, and then he retrieved the title, giving himself Claudio and Wheeler Yuta the wins. Your new AEW World Trios champions, Pac and the Blackpool Combat Clubs, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. I think you already hinted at it, but you weren't sure how you felt about the winners of this match.
Yeah, I already talked about the whole thing.
If you would have, I meant, who would you have had win the match instead?
I would have had Christian. His boys keep it, but I think Christian's great. Honestly, I kind of like the whole fact that Mother Wayne is actually listed on the AEW page as one of the trios champions. Like,
I really wanted it.
Go.
I wanted it on the Bang Bang Gang again, but that's just me.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Bang, I'm with that if and when Jay White gets back, and apparently he's close to coming back now too. So
I just thought that the way they took him away from him and then lost him, it was kind of like, I didn't like how they did that.
Well, here's the thing is that I don't understand is there's a moment where Mother Wayne was climbing the ladder to get the belt and it's like, well, she's part of the team, so she can win it. But all 4 of them were there. All 4 of them could win. They're the trios champion, but they took the trios champions off of Bang Bang Gang because they couldn't have Juice jump in to Jay's spot. But then they have, so it's, I get it. Christian Cage got pulled with the EVPs. I get it, but it's dumb at the same time. Once Jay comes back, honestly, I don't actually agree with that. Another thing, I don't want Jay to come back and be a trios champion. I want Jay to come back and be AEW fucking champion, man.
Yeah, we'll get into who the current AEW World Champion is and who the hell's next, which we do kind of know, but none of the options strike me as should be champions. I don't know.
Darby doesn't strike you as should be champion? Darby kills himself for the fans.
He just lost to Jet. We'll get into it.
There's story there.
But doesn't Orange Cassidy have one too, or no?
I think he does, actually. Like I said, there's 4 or 5 guys that are number 1 contenders. Right? There's 4 or 5 guys that are number 1 contenders. They try to tell a story and they just make it fucking convoluted and stupid.
Up next, the AEW Women's Championship match. Toni Storm defending against Mariah May. This had one of the better, probably the best build to this match than almost all the matches. The build-up was great. This match was not terrible by any means. Wasn't the greatest. But the drama was there, and the turn that Mariah did shockingly on Toni. I don't know if you saw it coming. I didn't see Mariah being the one to turn. I thought Toni was going to turn, and then I was shocked. But as for the match, what did you think?
It makes me wonder where they go with Toni now.
Well, she's going to go after the TBS title. That's clearly the more important one, right?
Actually, the way they present it lately, yes. But I just don't know. Maybe Toni takes a little time off to come back. Maybe they rebrand her character a little bit. Toni's one of those superstars that can switch back and forth from face to heel, and it works. She basically already is a face at this point. Again, she was a heel before, but was she a true heel? Anyways, nonetheless, this match was slow. I wasn't really into it. The build-up was great. The build-up was awesome. They've been building it up for months, like a long build. The match kind of fell flat for me. There's some crazy moments. The Storm Zero on the steps was like, holy shit. I didn't get the whole angle of, was there any backstory? I don't know, but I didn't get the whole angle of Mariah May slapping her own mother and then Toni going and consoling her.
I knew nothing. When that happened,
is there anything that's ever been touched on? Mariah's not happy with her own mother's. Like,
I think we were just pitching the fact that Mariah's a bitch. I don't know. I think that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, Mariah's but like, let's have a little backstory. Like her mother tried to drown her in a bathtub or something when she was a child. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Well, give me a reason.
Long-term storytelling at its finest. Tony Khan was there as she was a child and was like, "Okay, I need you to try and drown this child. All right, we're gonna need it for 2020."
We do not condone drowning of children. Wow. Okay.
Oh man. Let's get to before I get to the finish. Was there any moments in the match besides slapping your own mother that stood out to you?
No. That's really that. Once that happened, it just stuck me. I'm like, why did she slap? I want to know what's going. Is she mad at her mom? I want to know why she slapped her.
The fact that you're so caught up in that and not the actual match is crazy. It's like I want to know the story.
I do want to know. I want to know why she's pissed off at her mother.
The finish of the match, Storm was tempted to stab Mariah with the heel of the shoe, but she could not. Mariah responded with a jackknife cover before hitting two vicious knee strikes and then hitting the Storm Zero on Toni to pick up the 1, 2, 3. Your new AEW Women's World Champion, Mariah May. Did you like the decision here?
Yes, Toni's been champion for what felt like forever now. It needed a change. Mariah's really built herself up. It's intriguing. I still want to know why she's mad at her mom, though. I really do.
That is the kind of, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, yeah, you know what? She tried to drown her as a kid. We're going to go with that story.
Whoa, no,
we're not. Okay.
No, that was a joke. Kurt's running with it. Kurt, now you look like the weird one.
Anyway,
thanks for taking that heat.
Up next, this was a match I kind of was zoning out. The time change was getting to me while we were up in that press box, and I was dozing off.
Dude was falling asleep in his chair. Yeah, in his fucking chair. Like Fozzy came out, he started singing, and Kurt was.
I was out, man.
Cold.
Yeah, the
FTW hit him a few times.
Yeah, the FTW championship match.
Toni walked by. He looked disappointed. He's like, "These guys, my show really that shitty?"
Oh, Toni, it was the time change. FTW championship match. Chris Jericho defending against Hook. What from this match? This match wasn't that long. Well, from what I can remember. What did you throughout the match? Anything that stood out to you, and what did you think?
This was a bad match. It was not good.
Okay.
I don't like Hook as a wrestler. I don't like him. There's one point in there. That's so confusing to me.
What?
I get it. That's cool. You got a new thing to do. That's good. No, I got ADD, man. My eyes are just gonna be focused on that now. As soon as I'm like, ooh, squirrel.
I'm trying to be. Hey. Remember though, twirl the sand.
What was that about? I seriously want to remember what that was. It was Raw. We were watching Raw, and I'm like, take a twirl in the sand. I don't know what I was referring to. It was weird. And then, yeah, it's forever there now. So I won't ever remember what. Maybe one day it'll come to me. Anyways, this match. I mean, obviously, it's a no disqualification match. Some crazy shit happened. It did. Jericho, Lion Salt still looks amazing to this day. He's amazing. He can do a moonsault. He's got a 6-pack. Why would he retire? Hook, he's just something just doesn't hit with me in the wrestling ring. I don't get what it is. He's good. He definitely is. But I just got confused when that came up.
All right, you're like a squirrel.
Dude, literally, it kicks in. It's just like, ooh, something's scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
I'm just trying to be cool and creative. Anyway.
Now, see, I lost my train of thought again for the second time in the same match. That's how this match actually felt to me. So,
he took off his eye patch. I remember that.
He did.
Eye patch and said, "I can see."
And all of a sudden, he could see again, which I mean, okay.
By
cool.
God, it's a miracle.
Taz with the Taz mission on Brian Keith.
Brian Keith.
So that was fun. That's old school. Taz got all riled up on the commentary beforehand. We had direct link to it was awesome.
Well, the TV was on. The TV was on. We could hear.
I had an ear direct.
Oh, I was listening to the TV.
There. Yes. See, I just got the better package all around, I think.
You're still there.
I know. Nobody's even there. Whatever. So anyways, not a great match. I really wanted Jericho to take that title to like 1,000 days until he actually retired. But
so as he said, Taz put Brian Keith in the Taz mission, setting that allowed Hook to lock in Red Rum. And picking up the win. Hook is once again the FTW champion. Up next, the AEW Tag Team Championship is on the line. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, defending against the Acclaims, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, as well as FTR's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. What did you think of this one? Any highlights?
It was a good match. It was not their best stuff though, but I think it was around 14 minutes the match. The last 5 minutes of the match really took off, and then you're like, okay, this is the FTR, this is the Young Bucks we know. I'm not a huge fan of the Acclaim, but they held their own. But FTR and the Young Bucks went off in that final fin. The tornado DDT to the floor was wild. The trigger, then he getting knocked out, and then Matt Caster coming in to do
with him.
That was fun. And then the Shatter Dream with the different. That was kind of fun how they did that. The
internet connection there at Wembley's. There we go. You're back. The internet connection.
But is my voice lagging or is it just my video?
No, it's just the video. You sound fine.
That's cool. Okay.
Anyways,
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
You're good. You're good.
I'm probably gonna go back to my hotel room after we record this all in segment, and then we'll be
I'll meet you there. I'll probably meet you there.
Anyways,
it's gotta get weird. I might get stabbed here in London. You know how they are out here.
Well, I mean, you're wearing a Bullet Club shirt, so they'll probably think you're like part of a gang or something.
Yeah, and it's actually Bullet Club Los Angeles, so I'm probably in trouble.
Oh, you're real trouble. See, I got FTR, so they'll be like, oh, I think that Cash Wheeler guy's British, so
yeah. Why did that pop me? I don't know. There was some cool spots here. We had Billy Gunn coming in to hit a famouser on Matt Jackson on the titles, and then doing the suck it, and then almost messing everything up by not grabbing the title out of the way. The Acclaimed hit a mic drop on Matt Jackson to try and pick up the win. Nick Jackson blocked it. We had the finish coming when Dax tried to fight off the Jackson brothers, but Nicholas Jackson hit Dax with the titles before they hit him with the EVP trigger for the 1, 2, 3, and still your AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. After the match, though, the grizzled young veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson, confronted the Young Bucks before attacking FTR. The AEW Tag Division has been noted that the grizzled young vets were in the company. They are now there with their catchphrase, "It's time to grit your teeth." Do you know much about the grizzled young vets at all?
No, they were NXT.
Yeah, for a little bit.
But before we were watching, so
They
I came back to WWE in what late 2021, 2022, right in the COVID era, and then NXT got me onto this year. So
they were gone before COVID, I think. Zach Gibson's taller. He's the bald guy, taller guy. They're a pretty good tag team. They're interesting. They're not your flippy high flying. They are a hard hitting tag team, similar to, I guess, FTR. This brings us to the AEW World Championship #1 contenders Casino Gauntlet match. As we knew, Orange Cassidy would be the first entrant in the Gauntlet match, and his opponent was Kazuchika Okada to start things off. Okada got a bit of a pop when the coin dropped, but nothing crazy, to be real with you.
Dude.
What?
I'm confused. We're good. You're good. I'm like, Okada wasn't on All In, and then I'm like, oh yeah, wait, he wasn't announced on All In because we were chatting about that before we.
Yeah, literally right before this match, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Okada and Cassidy, they hugged. They were former Chaos tag team members, stablemates. They gave a nice little hug, but Okada did his "I'm crying, happy to see you. I'm serious" face. Okada went for the Rainmaker. Orange Cassidy blocking it by putting his hand in his pocket. I'm not going to try and speed through the Gauntlet match, but we have quite a few entrants to get to because entrant number 3 was revealed to be none other than AEW commentator and former Ring of Honor Pure Champion Nigel McGuinness is back. And Nigel is a fantastic wrestler. I think he has not wrestled in a very long time. He did.
I was going to say he is.
He is. Nigel. We'll watch some Nigel stuff, but he looked. The rust was there.
Are we ever going to bring back match of the week? We should bring that back at some point. Maybe once your racetrack season ends up, we'll start doing match of the week.
Yeah, I get busy. I'm sorry. We're almost there though. Actually, race season's coming closer to a close. So Nigel McGuinness came back, had a bit of a back and forth to lead us to entrant number 4, which was the conglomeration stablemate of Orange Cassidy's Kyle O'Reilly. And I'm just going to kind of put it out there for those that are watching. If you know how a Royal Rumble works, it's very similar to how this Gauntlet match works. When the entrant comes out, they get their moment to shine, and then we get another one to come out there. But Minor RK's faces changed drastically when the next entrant came out after Kyle O'Reilly, because we learned something that we did not know, that the 2024 G1 Climax winner, none other than Zack Sabre Jr., entered the fray at number 5 in this Gauntlet match.
We haven't been watching a lot of New Japan lately. We really should probably catch up on some of that G1 shit. But nonetheless, we will definitely be watching the Tokyo Dome show as per usual in January. Of course. And I was going to say we usually I really want to watch New Japan Strong episodes to see Stephanie Vakura, but as soon as she gets her visa issues sorted out, she'll be in Orlando full time, and so we won't even have to watch Strong events anymore. But that being said, New Japan still does put on amazing shows, and
is she still doing?
I'm not even
stuff? She's still doing Strong. Stephanie's not doing Strong stuff anymore, is she?
No, that's what I was saying. She'll be full time in Orlando once she gets her visa shit sorted out.
I can't announce. I know we're in the middle of this one, but it is August 26th. This coming Friday is New Japan Capital Collision. I will read through that card when we get into the news, and we'll go through that, and we'll probably.
That's a big show, isn't it? That's a big show. That's a big show.
It's a strong event, so we'll tune into that. That is this Friday. We got SmackDown, and we'll have Capital Collision. So we'll tune in for that. Anyway,
Nonetheless, once we get less busy, we'll get back to covering more New Japan shit again. We started out pretty strong on all of the brands, and we've just been so busy this summer. But we do love ourselves some New Japan because they put on some banner matches.
So Zack Sabre Jr., he comes in, does his thing.
But I don't like Zack. I do not like this at all. Any of this, none of this. I don't like it.
Let's get to entrant number 6, which was Roderick Strong. He comes in, starts firing away at Zack Sabre Jr. This was
dude. This guy's like, oh, dude, no, it was because his entrance was this dude's. Oh, Roderick's coming. I can run to the bathroom. He takes off. He comes back. He's like going, the fuck? Like, freaking Briscoe's already coming. What did I? I'm like, oh, dude, he literally got in the rain and Briscoe started coming out.
Let's say the time in between. So Zack Sabre Jr. came out, and there was a decent amount of time to let him do his shit.
Like, I'm pretty sure Kurt sat down to pee for this one because he took a long time. But I mean,
I didn't. But anyway, Roderick Strong comes out, and then immediately followed by Briscoe. Entrant number 8 revealed to be Hangman Adam Page. Hangman comes out, and he, as he has said, anybody gets in his way, I'm taking him out. He's doing that, and then the entrant after him was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett and Page obviously have had their back and forth recently. There was a moment where Karen Jarrett, Jeff's wife, was on the ringside, and it looked like Adam Page was going to choke slam her. He came to his senses, and then was the surprise of the night for this match. It was entrant number 10. It was revealed to be former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, former WWE United States Champion, and former WWE Intercontinental Champion, and let's not forget former WWE Speed Champion as well.
Wait a second. So it's like they did actually give Ricochet a lot of chances in WWE to be something.
Yeah, Ricochet. He's in AEW.
Interesting.
I think we're both pretty happy to see him.
Totally underutilized in WWE though. Never was going anywhere.
People were just mad because he was never going to be a world champion. And I don't think he'll be a world champion.
Is he world champion caliber? Get him to cut a promo. See if the fans still like him.
That's a debate. I think that's why he could possibly be that in AEW, just for the simple fact that his in-ring ability is on par with
top notch.
Will Ospreay. It really is.
Yeah. If not even more freakishly athletic.
He's got stuff that I don't think Will can do. But no, Ricochet's there. He comes in the ring and he does his thing. His high flying maneuvers. We all know Ricochet. A nice shooting star press to everybody on the outside. All that good stuff. The next entrant was none other than a limping Christian Cage. And if you didn't get the hint earlier, Christian Cage comes in. The next entrant behind Christian Cage, though, was Luchasaurus. And it seemed like Luchasaurus was going to chokeslam Christian in the ring, but he doesn't. He has a chokeslam on Kyle O'Reilly and then puts Christian Cage on Kyle O'Reilly. And guess what? Christian Cage has won the AEW #1 Contenders Gauntlet match for a shot at the AEW World Championship. And that is at All Out.
I believe it's All Out. I think because Darby's is at Grand Slam,
which is after All Out.
No, Grand Slam is like a TV special, I think. Next year in Australia, it's a pay-per-view.
Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Because I think Grand Slam's just a TV special.
I should be able to pull up the pay-per-view list here. Let me see, so we're not doing too much. Which pay-per-view was that?
Grand
Slam. So AEW All Out is September 7th. AEW Grand Slam is September 25th.
And September 25th. Oh, no. 1 second.
So, yes, Darby Allin has his AEW World Championship
Grand Slam is a Dynamite. Grand Slam is a Dynamite.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is. Yep. Wednesday, September 25th.
Next year in Australia, February 15th, it becomes a pay-per-view.
AEW All Out is Saturday, September 7th. And just because it's already been announced, Will Ospreay will be taking on Pac. We'll get to that match here in a bit.
Why would you
Will
have two pay-per-views so close together? That makes no sense.
Willow Nightingale's taking on Chris Statlander, and I guess it's not. Did they say that this win for Christian Cage was it all out, or are we just guessing?
I believe. I mean, it just makes sense if you get the title, win the Casino Gauntlet match at All In, you get the title shot at All Out. It just kind of makes sense, no?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We'll just go with it, and when we're wrong, we'll be like Dave Meltzer and said we said probably.
They pivoted. They pivoted.
We'll pivot. But yeah, Christian Cage is going to get a shot again at the AEW World Championship. And we already hinted at it. Bryan Danielson is your AEW World Champion. So if it isn't all out, that is Danielson's first defense. Or people were saying his press conference afterwards, we didn't watch it, where it kind of was like Danielson was saying he was done.
No, he's got a big announcement on Dynamite he's going to have about it.
Okay. So we'll tune into Dynamite and see. Interesting to say the least. Up next, as I put at the bottom of the screen earlier, that distracted RK because he is like a puppy and he saw a squirrel and he said, "What?" MJF, Will Ospreay for the AEW American Championship. We both said going into this, you're not going to be able to top what you did on Dynamite. They didn't. They did not. But this match was really good. This was a really, really good professional wrestling match. And I just want to say MJF is the best heel in wrestling. Maybe. Would you put Dom above MJF maybe? Or is MJF the best heel? Mark is working.
Just answering an email from the boss, man.
Gotcha.
So MJF, best heel in wrestling right now or all time? Yes, absolutely.
I didn't say all time.
I just did.
You think so? I'm not disagreeing with you. I was saying, is Dom a bigger heel than MJF right now, though? Raises the question.
Different kind of heels. MJF does it by pure scumbag tactics. Dominic's doing it in a totally different way where it's actually kind of genius. It's actually it's a sneaky heel shit.
Mm-hmm. The entrances, let's talk about the entrances real quick. Will Ospreay's entrance was basically a sponsored entrance by Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out later this year, which is it's a new version of Assassin's Creed. They'll be in it's like Japan, samurai-esque look to the Assassin's Creed story. This was basically just a sponsored entrance for Will. We both were kind of like, man, it's kind of corny. When they did the video package combining the gameplay as well as Will Ospreay highlights. The start of it with the girl doing the dancing and the flipping with the Assassin's Creed logos was cool. I thought that was really cool. And then, you did the video package, and I was like,
I started with the package. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then it got into the video game aspects of it, like mix, which I get. Like, there's the story of the Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, the makers all said, yeah, Will, you can do whatever you want with it. We're down for it. Because he's such a huge fan. And so I get it. But at the same time, I'm like going, Tony, are you whoring yourself out to video games now that you need more money? Don't you have, didn't you just sign a $1.5 billion deal with Warner Brothers? Like, I don't get it. It's the entrance, the dancing and the girl and the flips and shit, that was cool. Yeah. And then they could have just had the Will Ospreay package without the video game aspect added into it. I don't think everybody knows it's all his gimmicks based off Assassin's Creed. We all know it.
They didn't need it.
I just feel like they got to cater to AEW fans that just don't understand what's going on.
And I was even fine with the flags that were there that said Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out November or whatever. I didn't care about that, but it's the video package where I was like, man, you don't really have to do all that. But besides that, we get in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We can't skip out on MJF's American as fuck entrance. Boy, MJF is fantastic. He came out full red, white, and blue.
I can't agree with you because technically Canada, as a Canadian citizen, we are still a part of the British monarchy. So I'm with the Brits on this one.
Okay. Anyway, the entrance was American AF, to say the least. He came out with a nice red, white, and blue top hat. Tossed that one.
It was pretty cool. Actually.
Extended his arms. He had the the eagles on his arms. I mean, it was just all thing. And the biggest part of the whole entrance was the big flag with his faces on it. The stars were changed to MJF's face for the American flag, and there were streamers that were shot. That became a factor in the rest of the night because they were hooked on everything and didn't go anywhere.
They didn't think that one through.
I will say it looks like they got him down behind you finally.
It's I'm really work. It's far away. It's kind of I think I still see one like right over.
Oh
there.
yeah, there might be one. Yeah. You need to start packing up so we can get back to the hotel and finish the episode later.
No,
but
100%.
Yeah. The match though, we said it's not going to top what they did on Dynamite. You can't do that. You just there's always a way, but man, it was going to be tough to top.
No, you really can't. You just I said it. They blew their load right off the hop.
Yeah.
They like how else do you put it? They had absolutely probably one of the best matches of the entire year, if not in the last couple of years. It was that good of a match on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
How do you top that? You can't. Can you come close to it? I don't think you can come close to it. And as we got through this match, I'm like, great match. Fantastic match. Best match of the night so far because the matches before haven't really blown me away. I was expecting this from them, but did it meet the level of their Dynamite match? And the answer is simply no, it did not.
But this was a fantastic match.
It was a great match. But they set the bar so fucking high with that first match, you can't touch it again.
Yeah, the match was great. Will Ospreay doing Will Ospreay things. MJF is for people that think MJF can't go in the ring, you're ridiculous. MJF is one of the best in the world. I'm okay saying that. As an all-around professional wrestler, without a doubt. What stood out to you? I know there was the spot that Will Ospreay did that we had to replay a couple times because they didn't. Will's fantastic.
Yeah, on our we had a direct video feed to the replays as well.
Yeah, you had to replay those because for some reason they didn't on the TVs. But quick little boom boom, catch back up so we could look back up, you know. It was weird. Anyway, what stood out to you this match? Any spots that really caught your eye, and we'll get to the finish here in a second.
Oh man, MJF doing a moonsault off the top rope to begin with is just wild, and then Ospreay catching it and turning it into a Spanish fly on the floor, ridiculous.
That was sick. That was sick.
The oh man, the Canadian Destroyer on the apron from the top rope, wild. Like lots of spots in this match. These two went all out or all in, however you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you did
there. So good. So good. These two are top of the game. This match was fantastic. I didn't read what it said.
AEW World. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Why do you do this to me? I can't. You know me. I just yeah, those two spots overall, they just both killed it, man. This was the first. And this is not saying because the main event, the crowd was hot. The crowd felt like they got into it finally at this match, and they still weren't that loud though. I was just like, ooh, I don't know, man. Like I think I even said to you at one point, I'm like, you know, when WWE was in France, when they were in Glasgow, the crowd start to finish hot.
And not just the pay-per-view at those, the SmackDown prior.
The SmackDown prior, hot, start to finish. This crowd was not hot all the way through. They were hot, they popped, and there were loud pops, but they weren't hot. They got a little hot for this match, but they still weren't quite there. It didn't get hot in here until the Swerve Danielson. That got hot. And it's kind of wild because Danielson's built his whole persona and gimmick off of his WWE run.
Well, we're not talking about the match right now.
That's why everybody there got hot, because everybody knows who Danielson is.
Anyway, let's get to the closing
Who's
of this
Ospreay?
match.
Nobody. Yeah. Who's Ospreay? We're only in London. We don't know who it is.
We of course had a ref bump. leading to a low blow by MJF. He pulled out some wrap brass knuckles. Then a hooded man attacked MJF and hit him. Masked Man was revealed to be Daniel Garcia.
I don't know why AEW, and they even did it in the final match, but I don't know why AEW thinks that an interference is the go-to for big matches to help somebody not look weak in their loss. That's how an interference works in a match, especially a big match.
I get it.
To protect somebody from looking weak in the finish. But a clean finish for Ospreay or MJF here, period, doesn't make either look weak because they're both so good. Same thing in the final match.
And I get it, the story, blah blah blah. But Garcia's back. MJF, of course, pissed off.
I don't give a shit about Garcia. That's the problem.
Yeah. Allowing Ospreay to hit a hidden blade on MJF. Ospreay then picked MJF back up, and he did it. He hit the Tiger Driver 91 on MJF to pick up the win and regain the AEW the AEW International title.
I did kind of like that finish. I liked how Ospreay refused to take the one championship.
Went to chant. The referee went to hand him the American Championship. Will said, "Whoa, no." Christopher Daniels came into the ring with the AEW International title. Your new international champion again, Will Ospreay. Up next. Oh, wait. Sorry. I got to ask the question. Did you think this was the right call to have Will Ospreay get the win?
No, not here.
Agreed.
You give them the trilogy. You give MJF the win here. You really build him as he's the heel. And Ospreay just can't get it done. He's got a mountain to climb if he's going to want to beat MJF. Then you have the big match at... What's the next pay-per-view outside of All Out?
I don't know.
Gear? Do they have some gear thing?
Hold on here. I got you. It would be Wrestle Dream in October is what's scheduled.
Oh, next. Dude. At the Tokyo Dome?
No, that's in Tacoma, Washington.
Oh.
It's in the Tacoma. It's in the Tacoma Dome. Seriously, it's the Tacoma Dome.
No, I know. They're in Tacoma, Washington.
Which
is actually only like a 5-hour drive, 6-hour drive from here.
Oh, so you're going to Wrestle Dream?
I'm thinking so now. October, Wrestle Dream, November, fucking Survivor Series. Let's go.
Full Gear, by the way, is in November.
Okay, so I guess Wrestle Dream now. But anyways, for the next, not All Out, but like Wrestle Dream or Full Gear, you have the trilogy finished and you have Ospreay win it.
Well, they probably, there is Grand Slam on Dynamite, and then there is the AEW Dynamite 5-year anniversary show. There's that.
Yeah, but NXT does specials. Why does AEW do specials? They're a big company. You don't see SmackDown doing specials, WWE Raw doing specials.
The only one I don't really get Grand Slam being a Dynamite show. I do get the 5-year anniversary though. That one makes sense. But
that makes sense. It's like the 2000th episode of Raw special, because they've been around that long and that relevant for that long. Good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, we both agree. MJF, I feel like could have won that one.
I think you make the trilogy. You have Ospreay win it on the trilogy because now you built it as the sin is like, can Ospreay actually beat MJF?
Yeah, because the win that MJF got the first time was in question, obviously, with the diamond ring and blah blah blah. They weren't going to do that though. We were there. We were in the crowd.
They went with the safe booking. The
crowd wanted it. Yeah.
This is the thing though, is WWE gets shit on for having predictable booking, and then AEW does it, and everyone goes, "Oh, this is the best booking ever. Tony Khan's a god."
Yeah, no,
he's doing the same shit. He's being a predictable booker. Going into this tonight, most of my predictions were predictable predictions, and they've happened.
Yeah,
we didn't do a prediction show, so I'm just saying that I predicted them all right. But I think I got all of them so far in my head as I would have predicted them.
Yeah, I probably would have predicted different on one of them than you're probably differing from. And that would be the main event. The main event. Because
I know what you wanted, and I agree with what you wanted, but the predictable booking is what
Right.
happened.
I went against the predictable booking in my head for the main event, and I just was like, I went with the what they should do in my head.
My whole point is WWE does this and they get shit on. AEW does this and Tony Khan's a fucking booking god.
Exactly. Let's get into the next match for the TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné defending against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Yeah, this match was better than I thought it was going to be because I have not been big on Mercedes matches recently, and Britt's still got a bit of a rust about her. She looked better than her other match that she had earlier when she came back. But they did have the downside of following the fantastic match that was Ospreay and MJF. That was a little tough.
Yeah, but usually if you follow a match like that, you go out there going, "Hey, we're going to be better than that match." So
right.
you really put on a show.
They didn't. But what'd you think of this match?
It went longer than it should have, and it hurt it because Mercedes hasn't been great since she's been back. Britt is rusty. This match went about 17 minutes, I think. They could have probably wrapped it up in like 12 or 11 minutes. It probably would have hit better. The Panama Sunrise from Britt was kind of cool.
Yep.
Paying homage to hopefully her still boyfriend Adam Cole. I don't know. I gotta dig into that some more. But anyways, I want those two together. They make me happy.
Yeah, the Panama Sunrise was the Panama Sunrise into a curb stomp too.
Yeah, it was fucking cool.
Yeah,
Mercedes still got to find a finisher that just doesn't look like absolute garbage, though. Holy shit!
People on the internet were blaming that on Britt, and I was like, I don't know how. What is Britt supposed to do in that situation?
You just fall with it. It's just a horrible looking finisher.
Yeah,
Mercedes isn't strong enough to pull it off to make it look good. She can barely flip over most of her opponents.
I don't know about strong enough because she had a couple, top rope moves where she picked up Britt on the top rope and body.
Yeah, but the way she picks her up backwards and then she's got to rotate and flip her and then down, I just don't think she. Find a different finisher. Goddamn. Nonetheless, that's all I'm getting at. It looks horrible every time she does it. It does not look good. Does this end the feud between Britt and Mercedes?
I'd hope so.
Because I honestly, this is what I want. I want a Britt and Deonna Purrazzo feud.
Okay. Deonna's been relegated to Ring of Honor, so
I know, but I want a Deonna. I want her back on AEW. I love Deonna, and I want her to feud with Britt. I want it.
I agree. So the finish comes. Baker went for a backslide, but Monet tossed her into the middle rope and then into a knee to the back of Britt Baker before setting her up and hitting, as RK said, a not great finisher, which I agree. The Monet maker for the 1, 2, 3, and still your TBS champion, Mercedes Monet. Right call here.
So there was a thing. Fucking Mercedes recently did an interview, and she's like, "I'm so happy in AEW.
Oh god,
it's night and day from WWE." Which, at the time when she was there, yeah, it probably is. If she was to go back now, it's probably night and night, day and day. Probably, or night and day in the way of the WWE. Nonetheless, there's more in the news about that. There's a couple of rumblings backstage of AEW that I got for us. But nonetheless, she's like, I'm here with my good friend Jennifer Pepperman, which came over from the WWE to be a writer for AEW. And Tony, everybody lets me do input. We get good things on that. She's like, just come out and say it, bitch. You're happy that they let you bury anybody you want. It's cool. You can say it. We all know it's true. You literally burying every big star in AEW because you're Mercedes Moné. You beat Britt. You beat Willow. You beat Stephanie. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
You buried Willow. You buried Stephanie so bad that Stephanie left and went to WWE.
Willow's been doing stuff in Mexico.
Yeah, so she's the CML champion.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
And why is she the CMLL champion? Because somebody vacated it. Because there's no way they were taking it off of Stephanie naturally.
Up next was a very quick match. This was Darby Allin, Jack Perry, TNT Championship coffin match.
This motherfucker goes to the bathroom during. No, not you. Sorry, that was my buddy.
Oh, yeah. Your buddy that was there with us. No, he was the one that was texting you.
Yeah, he was the one that texted me watching it live. And he's
Yeah,
and then I said, "Holy shit! Did you see Stain?" He's like, "Stain? No, I fell asleep." I'm like, "Oh."
Anyway, the match got off. I mean, quick. Quick. Darby Allin had tacks in his face.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Darby Allin's insane. But really, honestly, Darby didn't get much offense in here at all. He had a couple.
No, they're making
moments.
Jack look uber strong for some reason.
Well, in a sense, they did the whole taped Darby's hands, and then Jack Perry took off Darby's belt sexually, wrapped it around his legs. Oh, also there was the spot of Darby dumping glass, real glass, in the ring, allowing the crowd to chant "Cry Me a River" and "Fuck you, CM Punk" chants. But then alongside that, there were people that were chanting CM Punk. So the same people that were chanting "Fuck CM Punk" are probably the same people that cheered for him while he was in AEW, and will still cheer for him now in WWE because
I gotta put a social media post out and see if that guy wearing an Austin 316 shirt in the front row is okay, because I would not go to an AEW show wearing a WWE shirt, because freaking those fans are gonna fucking hate you. They're gonna be like, how dare you like something else other than AEW?
Wear a CM. You think they let people wear a CM Punk shirt?
I'm gonna find out at WrestleDream.
I feel like you can't tell somebody to not wear that shirt. Just my thought. But yeah.
I honestly, I'm not even lying at this point. I'm gonna try to get myself front row seats. I'm gonna go with the CM Punk shirt front row, so I'm on TV with a big old CM Punk shirt. I'm gonna do it.
They may ask you to move. Who
I'm
knows?
Like, I paid dollars for this front row seat. Dollars, okay?
You son of a bitch. Anyway, and I'm kind of backtracking a tad bit. When Jack Perry made his entrance, he had a body bag with him, which led to this. He threw Darby Allin off of the entrance ramp on through a table, put Darby in a body bag, dragged him to the casket, and ended up he caught Darby with a knee strike, closed the lid, and Jack Perry is still your TNT champion. This match was very fast. I think your reaction was okay. It ended pretty quickly, to be honest.
Yeah, when it ended, I was like, wait, that's it?
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that to be the ending. Like, I get it, how they got there. I mean, the dude's tied up. What is he going to do? Right. But, I mean,
yeah. So
I thought there was going to be like a moment where he like broke through the body bag and was going to pop out, but it didn't happen.
After the match, the Young Bucks walked down with a gas tank, pouring it on Darby Allin, who's in a body bag.
It's called petrol here.
Sorry,
it's petrol.
The terms they've been teaching me since we've been here, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm American, bro. We won the war.
Yeah, when they said we were getting coffee this morning, and they asked for 2 pounds, and Kurt's like, I'll give you 2 pounds. Yeah, I'm like, no, that's not what they're talking about. Kurt.
A headache, and they were all like, stupid American, and I'm like, bitch, we won the war, so like, what's up? And
hey, what happened when you guys tried to invade Canada that one time? Didn't go well, did it?
Yeah, you guys talk a lot of shit for someone that's still controlled by another country. Anyway,
we're not.
You just said you're a part of them.
We're part of the monarch. We're part of the monarch, but we're independent from it. Okay.
Over here, hawk tune on the monarch. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're America. All right. MJF said it best. We're the greatest country in the world.
The fact that you just brought up a chick who said a sexual term on a viral clip, and she's now the most famous thing you guys got. That says a lot right there. Where your guys' mentality is at. Shout out to Haley Welch. I'm sure she's a lovely girl.
She probably is. She's actually hilarious. She's I watched some interview with her. She's like, your mom was on crack when you were a baby. She was doing the interview, and she's like, yeah, I'm a crack baby. I'm like, you're funny as shit, I guess. She's like, I sound like Toe Mater. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, they tried to light Darby Allin on fire. He's in the casket. They poured petrol on the casket. But before they could light it on fire, the lights went out, and that's gotta be Sting. Sting comes back to AEW to save his boy, Darby Allin. The song Seek and Destroy by Metallica ringing out across the arena. Double Scorpion death drop on the Young Bucks, and then gets Darby out of the coffin. Cool little moment. Can I honestly say this felt like a WWE moment?
Yeah, 100%.
With a legend coming back to make a
Do the same, 100%.
And get the pop and get the crowd going.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, when I say like
popped.
Dynamite this week, when Dynamite, I popped. Fuck yeah, Stain, let's fucking go. Like I said, with Dynamite being a WWE-esque show, it's not. Yeah, call me an E-tard, whatever you want to call me, a WB mark, an E-drone, whatever. I don't care what they're called.
Fed.
All those names exist. I'm not even get mad at me because I'm saying E-tard. They exist. This is what we get called as WWE fans. And AEW Smarks and all this shit, they get called names too. Guess what? It's not a bad thing if one company wants to use a style from another company. WWE could probably benefit from some of the things that AEW does. I'm not lying when that's saying that WWE has some pretty boring fucking matches. And if they went to a more hardcore wrestle first style for some of their matches, they would probably put on better matches for some of their style of wrestlers they have. AEW could definitely benefit from Dynamite. I thought was decent this week because they had a very WWE show in the way that they built the story for this pay-per-view on all three of their main, the Mercedes, Britt, MJF, Ospreay, Swerve, Danielson. They really hammered home who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Let's get everybody hyped for it. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, call me a WWE mark because I think that they tell stories way better. Yeah, I watch wrestling for the stories, and I also watch wrestling for wrestling. And you know what? I wish WWE did some things AEW does, and I wish AEW did some things that WWE did. I would love to see everything mesh together and be good.
You all good over there? I saw you glancing. Are they giving you problems still? I saw you glancing to the side. Are they still? Are they telling you to hurry up?
They're kicking me out. I think they're telling me to get out here pretty shortly. But,
okay, well, tell them. We got one more match to get to. Tell them to hold on.
Anyways, nonetheless,
appreciate their hospitality.
But we're doing the best rated weekly wrestling review show.
Tell them.
So I just did. I was looking at where we're gonna set it, and they nodded. They're like, "Yeah." They nodded. They're like, "You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're cool." So, anyway, nonetheless,
let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Yes.
The AEW World Championship versus career. Swerve Strickland puts his title on the line. Bryan Danielson putting his career on the line.
Can I just say one more thing, though? One more thing. This Jack Perry tough guy gimmick is getting old real fast. I don't like it. Honestly, when I watched AEW a few times when he was doing his Jungle Boy thing with Luchasaurus, I kind of digged it. Yeah. I don't like whatever they're doing with Jack Perry right now.
Yeah, he can't. You don't think he can fight, right? Because I'll beat his ass. I'll take Anna J.
I do. He does not strike me as a guy that would actually hold up in a fight very well.
AEW World Championship versus career match. Swerve Strickland.
I got the security guard nodding with me right now, so he
can't fight. He knows.
He's like, you're right. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, we all saw it. Anyway,
he's back. He's in his locker room now having a tea.
A spot of tea. Anyway, the match, the main event. I can say this was probably one of my favorite matches of the year. Swerve Strickland. I hope Swerve answered any questions you had of him. I know you've been kind of critical of Swerve sometimes.
I've definitely been critical of Swerve.
You have. But I hope this answered questions that he isn't. He's good and he's a top guy.
Usually WWE gets rid of guys for a reason. They made a mistake with Swerve.
To a point, I agree with you, but Swerve was not this character that he is now in WWE at all.
No, he's part of what, Hit Row, I think it was?
Yeah, he did a little of that. He was Cruiserweight champion, all that good stuff. But when he came to AEW and did the whole gimmick change and what he's done now he's fantastic. So Swerve, Danielson, they put on a clinic. They put on a classic. This was one of the best matches I've seen all year. What did you think?
This was classic fucking Danielson. Classic.
Yes.
This is the Danielson I wanted. This was the Danielson I wanted to show up for this match.
Agreed. And he did. Full on, pulled out the stops, the hits, the high flying. He did
off the hop.
Right.
Fucking Danielson with the springboard flip dive. Like, fuck, let's go.
And here's the thing, we harped on Danielson doing the holds and all that stuff, which is good sometimes. But the way he did it tonight was
put it all together.
Perfect. It was so good. This was a this was, and I'll let you. I'm not gonna steal your words. I'll let you say it. But this was a classic. This was a wrestling match. This was an example of greatness in my eyes.
Everything from start to finish. The story that was told within the match, the pacing was perfect. It was paced perfectly. It had its perfect slowdown spot. It had its high energy spots. It had the drama in it. It had all the near falls where you're like, oh fuck, how is he getting up from? He should have won. What's going on? The count, the like art, like everything. It was masterpiece wrestling match here. Whoever produced this match nailed it. The prep, everything put into it, the build up, the story in the match. Having Bree and his kid there ringside, the spot with the Swerve stomping Danielson in front of his kids and Bree, and just like Prince Nana fucking right in. I was just like, everything is just, you're just hammering this home that this is a big time match.
In a way, it was. It totally was. Let's get to right towards the end. It seemed Swerve was in control and attempted, and he did the taunting of the yes chants. Hangman Adam Page appeared. He went to attack Prince Nana.
Only part of the match I did not like.
Agreed. An army of security guards swarmed Page, which I get it because he is hell bent on Swerve. I get it. But
this leads into Swerve and Page feuding for the next 6 months, but whatever.
Right.
You did not need to do it here.
Nope. Agreed.
Have Swerve lose, and then on Dynamite have Hangman coming out and mock him or something. Get the feud going that way. Mid match, like in a big moment match like this, it felt like it's cheap heat. It's cheap heat that I don't necessarily like.
Hangman came out. He got taken away. It was a distraction on Swerve. I do want to bounce back a little bit in the match. There was a moment where Danielson went for the running knee strike, and it hit Swerve in the chest, and Swerve just brushed it off. And I was like, that's good.
Once again, perfect. So no selling works in the right situations. Just no selling for no reason whatsoever, like Hook does, is dumb. No selling in this position, like you guys just went through war. Danielson went to hit one of his signature moves that usually takes a lot of guys out, and Swerve just brushes it off. It's like Danielson's like, what the fuck do I got to do to win this match? And Swerve, same thing, 3 house calls, everything. And then he's going in his mind, his mind is going, what the fuck do I got to do? He had to start from the top rope. He had everything. And it's like the near falls, everything. You're just like, who's actually going to win this match? Beautiful match. This was a perfect match start to finish. You can't get better than this. If Meltzer was to give a match a 7-star rating, if he had the balls to, this would be the match to do it in, because start to finish, there wasn't a thing wrong with this match, minus maybe the Heyman Page thing, but that's a minor thing, because he didn't really get involved. He just distracted Swerve for a second. Not perfect, but I can live with it.
The distraction from Hangman did not go to the finish. It allowed Danielson to hit a knee, but it was a near fall, one of the near falls you hit on. There was a lockup, some headbutts, strike after strike, and then we get a knee from Danielson to Swerve. Then he hits a knee on the back of his neck, locks in the label lock. Strickland breaks this, but then Danielson snapped his fingers, his arm, and locked in the brutalizer, and there was nowhere for Swerve to go, and he submitted.
If there's one thing I could change, would be the finish, and not even so much the submission finish, but the tap out. I would have liked to make Swerve look a little stronger and just have him pass out or something over quitting, but it still works. We've had major matches multiple times, huge matches finish in submission finishes. It's one of Danielson's things. I get it. It's just I would have liked to see Swerve maybe look a little stronger in the finish by just passing out or something, but it's a minor thing again. It doesn't take away from the match in any way whatsoever.
So there it is. Bryan Danielson is your new AEW World Champion, his first title in AEW. He is surrounded by his wife Bree, his children, Dragon Gate USA comrade Willer Yuta and Claudio. They come out. Blackpool Comic Club as well. They were part of the Dragon Gate USA thing. That's a old fun fact. But yeah, the American Dragon stands tall to end the show. He is the winner and new AEW World Champion. There's a video I meant to send you before we started, before I got settled in here at my desk outside of Wembley Stadium. Somebody showed me.
Man, nobody's told you to move that.
No,
you're basically like a street side vendor right now.
No, we're good. There was a video somebody showed me post match. Danielson was chasing his kid around, which we saw on the broadcast, but someone that was ringside was recording it, and it looked like he grabbed his son and went to put him in the tiger driver position, and then looked at his wife, and
I saw that.
It was stop.
It was on the. It was. You could see it. It was kind of
He was going to hit him with the tiger driver. So yeah, Bryan Danielson stands tall, and he is your new AEW World Champion, first time champion in AEW, and that is how we wrapped up All in London. RK still in the building, me outside. We do have to get back to our hotel room.
Yeah, they're kicking me out. They're kicking me out.
Before they kick you out, start to finish, what did you think of All in London?
Start to finish, not good. Midway through to finish, good. The first half was the last four matches really hit.
Okay.
Even the Mercedes Brit, which wasn't a great match, it still hit. It was there. The last four matches were top notch. The first 5 matches, a little bit of a slog. They just felt like it was typical AE style. Just throw as many people in matches as you possibly can, and just have outcomes. Yeah.
So that's that. We gotta get back to the hotel room. So we're gonna do that.
Do we usually give a star like a out of 10 on our pay-per-views? We usually
yeah, we do. What would you give it as a whole? The pay-per-view.
That main event hit so good. It's probably one of the best main events of the year. I'm even talking like over WrestleMania. Really, honestly, I mean, yeah, Cody finishing the story and everything's huge. It's up there with that. If not,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's that good. So with the main event, really pushes the number up, but the slow opening kind of hurt it a bit. So I give it like a 7.5.
I was thinking 8 because of that last match. That last match hit pretty good for me, and the MJF Ospreay match did really well too for me.
Great match, but it hurts. It gets knocked down a bit there too because their first match was so fucking good.
As a collective, I'll give you the 7.5. So Top Rope Renegades will give it a 7.5 out of 10 for All in London. 10 out of 10 though for the main event match, maybe. That match
10 out of honestly, the way we're talking about it and you think about it, yeah, it was a 10 out of 10 match, and we don't give that lightly in any way. That was, I'm not even kidding. If Meltzer was to give a 7-star match to somebody, it should be that match, because that match was perfect start to finish.
That's fair. All right, we got to scurry back to the hotel. So I'm out in the streets of London right now, not a safe area. Could get stabbed soon. RK is being kicked out of Wembley Stadium. So when we return, we will we'll reset and we'll get into the news, rumors, and innuendo. We'll be right back here on Top Rope Renegades. Okay, we're back. RK seems I'm stuck in the streets of London right now. I don't know where I'm at.
Did you, dude? I got on.
There's some dark alley.
I could have sworn I could have sworn you were on the private jet with me. Shit, I'm already home.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn. There was some guy that yelled "Oi, bruv" at me.
It's a big private jet. Like there's multiple cabins. I thought you were in one. I didn't.
Yeah,
my bad.
I'm worried. Some guy yelled "Oi, bruv." I don't know what that means. I don't speak the language.
Was it Ospreay? So, that dude might fuck you up. That dude might fuck you up.
Hidden blade. But no, anyway, I just wanted to play with RK a little bit there. Of course, I was on the private jet. I'm back home too. He dropped me off at home. Anyway, wow,
idiots.
That flight was pretty quick. Anyway, we got it. It's time for RK's favorite segment, my favorite segment. It is time for the news, the rumors, and the innuendo. RK has compiled the headlines for this week's episode 19 Top Rope Renegades news, direct from the last episode of AEW Dynamite. 57 camera cuts, by the way, to the hard cam side. Tony Khan was asked about this by our sources, and his response was, "We were happy to announce we have hired Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn is now All Elite." This is breaking news, of course, from Top Rope Renegades. as well as the other news out of AAA, Triple Mania. Raj Desi and Satnam Singh have won the AAA tag titles. And apparently this is a direct quote from myself. I was crying tears of joy because Raj Desi is champion at AAA, and honestly,
It hits. It hits hard.
it
It
still hits
hits.
thinking about it. Just hold on, I need a second.
No, it hits. It hits. I get it. It's cool.
He's came so far from the Punjabi prison, and I never thought he would achieve these.
You honestly should see the. You should see the PTSD this man gets whenever he hears anything Punjabi. It's wild. So this is a moment for him. This is a moment for him. This is a moment for him.
He's achieved.
Dude, we're gonna get a Golden Globe now. I think.
Oh God, sorry, I'm crying.
Is it People's Choice? Which one's for broadcasting? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh,
a Pulitzer? Anyway, no, that's writing.
I gotta pull it together. We have a show to do. We have a show to do, and I'm sorry, and that's a lot, and I didn't mean to. Anyway, Tony Khan believes that the WWE is still engaging in contract tampering with AEW wrestlers. Triple H has liked this comment. That's the main headlines from the Top Rope Renegades.
That's not even a joke. That one's not even a joke because Tony Khan went on Instagram. He posted that, and Triple H liked the post on Instagram. That's wild. That's fucking wild.
It's hilarious when you really think about it. All right, okay. News, the rumors, the innuendo from the past week. What do you got cooking over there? Now you're back home.
Just so you know, I'm not including a newsroom and innuendo from a normal news cycle. We're recording late this week just because of All In. So the news from the last few days will be on next week's show. So just if I don't touch on anything that happened the last couple of days, there's a reason for that. Because this is August 16th to the 22nd. So that being said, that was just a little disclaimer to start, just so you know. I'm not touching on any news from the 23rd, 24th, or the 25th.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So WrestleVotes now claims the Judgment Day will not be rebranded. We already touched on this last week. It has now been confirmed. Street Trash is going to be used as a slogan of sorts for the group, though. They'll still reference it, but it's definitely not their new name for sure, 100%. The internet reaction to that coming out shows that, and this was even reported, Triple H actively watches social media during the shows, during the week, everything. The guy has his finger on the pulse. He wants to keep the fans happy. At the same time, he wants to be able to swerve them at times. And he's just in touch with the fans more than Vince. Vince was like, this is my show. We're doing it this way. That's it. The few things that fans wanted ever got through. Bryan Danielson probably being the most major one that happened. Kofi Kingston too, with his movement, probably had a lot of help from the fans. But it's nice to know that Triple H, they're in business for the fans, right? If they don't have the fans, they don't have a show. So I mean, you got to keep your fans happy. So I like that. On the Click podcast with Kevin Nash's podcast, he said he spoke to LA Knight backstage at SummerSlam, and there was no heat between them over Nash's past comments about Knight. If you don't know what happened, Nash basically said that LA Knight was a clone of like The Rock, Stone Cold, like he was just copying them, and he thought it was like a not a really great gimmick. So apparently they've talked and they're cool. So yeah, awesome. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Nash, LA Knight's biggest thing in the planet, literally. This is old. This doesn't really work out anymore because I don't see how it could work out. No, actually, no, it does. What am I talking about? This does work. So this was reported on the 16th. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page is currently planned for AEW All Out. So the feud is definitely going to get going. Yeah, we want to see a proper finish to that feud. They've been feuding on and off for the last little while, especially Swerve. We weren't watching this, but Swerve went to like Brian Pillman style to Hangman's house and did shit, or was it the other way around?
Yeah, sort of with the Hangman's house. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, nonetheless, yeah. So we're probably getting that all out, which I'm all for. Those two will put on a banner. Tay Mello was backstage at Collision last weekend. So yeah, last weekend, and she's apparently returning to AEW very soon. One thing I have to bring up that's current because it just blew my mind. I literally just read it. I should have saved it because now I lost it. Crap. She basically said on the press conference of All In that she is the reason the women's division is super hot in AEW right now, more or less. This woman, I don't know what's happening to her, but I don't like her. She is.
I don't like Mercedes Moné. I don't. Sasha Banks is
it's
great.
wild. It's wild how you feel about yourself when you have creative control put into your contract. Okay, there, Mercedes Hogan.
It's not gonna work for me, brother.
No. Earlier this week, WWE filed the trademark Fatal Influence, which we found out was the new tag team name for JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and somebody else. Can't remember who the third one in that group is.
Jasmine Nix.
Jasmine Nix. Thank you. I said it before he did. Okay, cool. So that was on the 16th. What do I got for the 17th? This is where the tampering comes in. So during an interview yesterday on the Dan LeBatard show.
Dan LeBatard.
That sounds like you're making fun of somebody.
No, that's his name, Dan LeBatard.
Anyways, unless he's a lesser known podcast than us, so we're giving him a shout out on Top Rope Renegades. AEW President Tony Khan said he believes that the WWE is still engaging in contract tampering with AEW wrestlers. We talked about this. I believe he's mostly referring to the fact that it's no secret. WWE's been talking to the Lucha Bros 100%. And yeah, you think these people don't talk to each other? Like, come on, contract tampering, is that even a thing in wrestling? Like, it's not like it's the NHL. It's not like it's the NHL where they got rules against this shit. I don't know if is there rules against this shit, and is there a wrestling union that says you can't do this? I don't think there is. So is it really a thing?
I don't think. Yeah, maybe it's just like
in the NHL, NBA, NFL. There's rules in the collective bargaining agreement you can't contract tamper. But is there fucking rules in wrestling that you can't talk to another wrestler under contract going, hey, like maybe morally, like behind the scenes, like, but
unspoken rule.
Like there's unless there's a written law saying that they can't talk to. Anyways, I don't know what the rules are. I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be one. I'm just a blue collar chipper. So like, whatever. I still laugh that Triple H liked his post. He believes that WWE is tampering. That's still the funniest thing. Triple H just laughing at him basically. So. The Wrestling Observer newsletter mentioned that AEW has the right to extend Rey Fenix's contract for another year. I feel like, the Wrestling News Observer is like a week behind and everything because we talked about all this shit last week from others. And then they're coming out this week with that. Like, Dave, get better. This is like goes back to like Dave makes you pay for a subscription, then you tell him, then he wants you to give him your news so he can post it in his newsletter that you pay for. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. We want reports from this live show that we're not a part of. So if you send the report, you don't get anything for that.
Yeah. Anyways. Fightful Select. Adam Cole is backstage at Dynamite this week, and word is that he'll be soon resuming training. I brought this up last week too. Do I just have better sources than these people? Like honestly, if you go back to our last week's, I brought up all this shit already. I'm reading it now from these big name Fightful Select, Wrestling Observer. I released this news last week. Like, catch up with times, Dave, and who's the dude? Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful. Anyways,
Sean Ross.
The Observer says most people in AEW locker room get along and like Tony Khan, but there is concern about attendance and popularity that wasn't there in the past. You think you would think that the talent would get a little worried that, the attendance is down, viewership is down, popularity is down for your show, whereas WWE wrestling's hot right now. WWE's killing it. They're getting sold out shows. They've had like 43 sold out shows this year already, or something like that. Their attendance is always high. Their merch sales are through the roof. Like, you would think that talent would get a little worried, like, hey,
yeah,
what's going on?
I want to read a quote real quick from Bryan Danielson at the press conference from All In.
Yep.
The quote is, "I want my kids to know that I could keep doing this for a very much longer period of time at a very high level, but now it's time for me to go home."
I don't know.
So why?
If he just relinquishes the title or some shit in the next 2 weeks, having him beat Swerve is the dumbest fucking move in the history of wrestling.
Hold on tight.
And only AEW would pull off something that dumb. Like, if Dan's just giving him the win for the hell of giving him the win, he doesn't need that. He's already a legend. He's already going to go in the WWE Hall of Fame. If he doesn't say yes to when Trips calls him to go in the Hall of Fame, he's an idiot.
Right.
He deserves to be there. But if this was just a move to put the title on him for the hell of putting the title on him, to have a feel-good moment, to have your fanboy Tony Khan having his WrestleMania 30 moment with Bryan Danielson, then that was dumb, Tony, because you just kind of made Swerve look not weak. I don't want to say weak, but you just made Swerve not look like your guy. Swerve is going to be around. He could be around for another 10, 15 years in your company as a top guy, but you don't want to have him over Danielson just to have a feel-good moment. That's not wrestling. I'm sorry. Feel-good moments don't happen in wrestling, not all the time. A wrestler going out on his shield is kind of like how the history of wrestling goes. John Cena's final match, if he has a chance to put somebody over, he probably will.
I gotta get off Twitter. People are the fallout is annoying and it's killing me.
What do you got now?
That Mercedes carried Britt that entire match.
Yeah, okay.
They're talking about the spot when she hit the Panama Sunrise, and it says this spot is killing me because you can dead ass see Mercedes doing all the work.
That's kind of how a Panama Sunrise actually works, because the taker of the move has to jump and flip with it.
Yeah, carry on with your news. I gotta get off.
The way it works is the momentum of the taker has to jump and flip with it for it to work. It's like a Canadian Destroyer. It's usually the taker that puts in the most work to make it work, because the guy taking the Canadian Destroyer flips the guy around and then lands, and then he has to sell it.
Carry on with the news. I'm staying off Twitter.
You should probably. Well, we already knew this was going to happen. Jim Ross said he thinks he'll be calling commentary for Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. I'm glad that he was there, but my Lord, he just gets worse every time he shows up.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last time he was on the show. Jim Ross is a legend, but
nothing but respect for that man. That dude was the voice of my childhood, honestly.
Right. Legend. He's probably the greatest.
He's top 3.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Top three works.
Commentators, if we're going to get into it right now, are we talking commentators or color commentators as well?
The lead,
Jim Ross, Michael Cole, and probably Tony Schiavone, WCW days.
I'll give you that. With color, who you're throwing in?
Jerry the King Lawler, Harley Race,
Bobby the Brain.
Yeah, Bobby the Brain. Did I say Harley Race? I meant Heenan, Bobby Heenan.
And
Bobby Heenan, Jerry Lawler, Pat most recently, 100%. That dude brings energy. Jerry Lawler, Bobby the Brain. And I ain't gonna lie to you. The third one's a tough one. I like JBL on color. I really like JBL on color.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was a good heel, perfect heel for that.
I really like JBL in color.
All right. Carry on.
PW Insider noted that Damage Control are now listed as babyfaces on WWE's internal roster, which is actually kind of what we were wondering a few weeks back. Like, is Damage Control technically babyface now?
Yes,
which makes sense because Io Sky is so good, and Kyrie, they're fan favorites. Like, why would you not have them as babyfaces? Sorry, I don't have all these notes written down because we just flew back from London. It's a quick flight. So I'm just going through all my random notes. Well, I have a very fast jet. So,
and a hell of a pilot.
Yeah, he's good. Fucking did like F-18 shit. Wrestle Pierce says Bobby Lashley will be going to AEW, but will make pit stops in Bloodsport and Japan. I've heard rumors that he wants to do some boxing, which I believe is Bloodsport does boxing. I don't know. Anyways, Wrestling Observer says R-Truth is not injured, but he will miss time just to put Bronson Reed over for his eventual feud with Seth Rollins. So I'm guessing the internal memos are Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed before we get into Seth and CM Punk at some point next year.
I guess, yeah, let CM Punk and Drew finish out what they're doing.
But yeah, R-Truth was just putting over Bronson Reed and giving him some momentum.
R-Truth,
good veteran move. Okay, this is the one that got me. So what was it? A week ago? Yeah, it was last week, I believe. Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer put out a report that the Young Bucks were on a contract that only had a certain amount of dates that they were required to appear for, similar to a Brock Lesnar contract or a Roman Reigns contract, all that stuff. This week, Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reports the Young Bucks' time off was planned long ahead of time, and they were always taking time off to sell the Blood and Guts match. They also say that while they won't be on every Wednesday through the end of the year, they will be on most weeks. They did not sign a part-time deal or get a Brock Lesnar deal. So one week, Meltzer reports one thing. The next week, Meltzer reports the complete opposite of what he reported the week before. Where does that sound familiar? Like everything Dave Meltzer reports?
I'm done wasting my breath on Dave.
No, you're not. We do it every week.
And he and Brian were selling a live show that they did before All In.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
Which was more expensive than some ticket prices for All In. It was actually more expensive than the price to watch the pay-per-view if you bought it at home. So yeah, whatever, man. They're terrible people. Terrible people.
Yeah. So I just laughed when I read that. I'm like, you reported the complete opposite thing last week. So you just talk out of your ass, and if it's not true, you just no, they pivoted.
My breaking news, real quick. I just glanced up here. Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher got in a back and forth after Ricochet debuted at All In. And Ricochet's quote to Kyle Fletcher was, "More people watch my WWE speed matches than one of yours." So
is that a legit feud? Like legit?
They were going back and forth on Twitter.
Story?
It might be leading to a match.
It's story.
But the fact that Ricochet said more people watch my speed matches than one of yours is great.
The fact that he references WWE, even though he's now in AEW, is kind of wild.
Yeah, well, he's goated. What else? What else you got?
Hey, you heard it here first. So I think Ricochet gets a big push to start, but then he kind of fades off again. Unfortunately, I don't want to see it happen, but I just want to. I don't think he's going to flourish any more in AEW than he did in WWE. I really don't.
We'll see. We'll see. I bet he wins the title.
What title? There's like 22 of them.
Continental or the one that. Ooh, he's going to be Ospreay, isn't he?
But hold up. All the people bitching about WWE said that they didn't do anything special for him when he was there. They didn't give him any kind of a push, but he was Intercontinental Champion, U.S. title. But he goes to AEW, he wins what, the Continental title or the
International
yes title or whatever, the TNT title. Like, is that not the exact same thing?
Yeah, he's got to win the world championship to be better than he was in WWE, apparently. I don't think he's world champion. Unless he works.
I love Ricochet. We're not bashing Ricochet. Ricochet's awesome, but he's not He's not that guy. He's the guy that's going to give you banger matches. He's going to put it out all on the line, but can he carry a company as the top guy? I don't think he is. Not in. Go.
I got one more news. Sorry, nothing with Ricochet. Matt Cardona is back. He is returned to in-ring competition.
That's good. Do you hear what Matt Cardona said earlier this week? I was going to bring it up, but now I'll bring it up right now. He said he wants to end his career in WWE. He said Zack Ryder's dead, but I want to go back to WWE. That's where I want to finish my career. That's where I want to be. I want to bring Matt Cardona, the indie god, to WWE.
I think it'll happen.
I think so. Especially, Chelsea Green can pull some strings with Trips, and I'm sure Trips love Matt. I mean, you heard this. I've told this story before, but where Chelsea Green told the story how Matt Cardona stole her tag team women's title, took it to Japan without her knowledge, and she thought she was going to get in shit for it. And when she talked to the brass in WWE, they're like, "Oh, you could have just asked. We would have had one made for him."
Yeah, it's a different company now, so it's good to see.
Speaking of Chelsea Green, looking amazing on SmackDown again 2 nights. Oh God, that woman's gorgeous. Matt, you're a lucky man. She is a phenomenal wrestler. She's a phenomenal talent, and she is a beautiful woman. Stephanie Bakir has been delayed getting into WWE due to visa issues. Once that is sorted, she'll be headed for the States. I think that just has to do with the fact that she could show up in the States to do a match on like a temporary visa, but she needs like a permanent visa because she'll be residing in Orlando for NXT for foreseeable future. So I think that's just, typical stuff. But, WWE was able to get the Usos into Canada with their shit or whatever it was. Was it the Usos? Yeah, it was. It was Jay.
It was Fatu. No,
it was Jacob Fatu. Also, Jay, I think, has like DUIs or something. Anyways, nonetheless.
Was that Jay or Jimmy? I think it was Jimmy.
One of them. I know one of them had trouble getting in Canada too. Drew McIntyre brought it up to Jay. It was Jay. Drew was like, "How'd you even get in here?" There was Money in the Bank, or the SmackDown before Money in the Bank. Drew was like, "How'd you even get in here?"
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, you're right. You're right.
So, anyways, was that the last of that day? Yes, it was. Okay, that was the 19th. On to the 20th. We got notes upon notes upon notes. Okay, here we go. Okay. It's been speculated, predicted that WWE is building towards a War Games match between Roman Reigns and the OG Bloodline versus Sikoa and his new Bloodline at Survivor Series. Again, I hope so because I'm going to be there, and that would be I would lose my shit. No, the current timetable for Charlotte Flair's return is around November, according to PWN. That's kind of cool. Charlotte Flair is top 5 women's wrestler of all time. Probably she can be even considered one of the top wrestlers of all time as well. I'm firmly believing that women can now be included in those categories, and it's not even a sexist thing. I have Bayley in my top 10 wrestlers of all time, and that's legit. I do think Bayley's that good. I've watched more Bayley matches than Charlotte Flair matches, so I don't think as highly of Charlotte Flair, but she is 13-time women's champion and shit. Like she's phenomenal. The women, they put on banner matches. I mean, some of the women's matches outshine the men's matches, honestly. They make very strong cases to be considered top wrestlers of all time, period. And I love that. That's awesome. It's a far cry from what it was back in the Attitude Era, where the women were not there for wrestling. Let's see, what else do we got there? I already talked about this. Triple H pays close attention to audience reactions, even live. Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer wrote on a recent daily update that Matt Riddle won the AAA Cruiserweight title at Triple Mania to get the belt off of Commander because he's with AEW. I'm not really sure what that's referencing. I thought AAA had a deal with AEW, but maybe there's something going on. Actually, there's that whole Mexican thing where not AAA, CMLL. My bad. CMLL's got the partnership. AEW. That's right. AAA. Oh, that's right. Oh, that makes more sense now. It just all clicked because there's all that talk of how WWE wants to team up with AAA to do cross shit as well. That all makes sense. It's all if that's the reason, that makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe Matt Riddle finds his way back in the WWE eventually. Anyways, he's already said it. He's like, yeah, I would love to go back to WWE. So
Will they take him? Maybe.
I'm sure. Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. It was over weed, wasn't it?
No.
Or
Cocaine.
worse. Okay.
Cocaine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe he's cleaned his shit up. People are allowed to grow, right? Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
That's boring. That's boring. Sorry, we already got 2 more days left. 21st. There's still no estimate on Kenny Omega's return to AEW, but the Wrestling Observer says he is now training with moderate intensity. So, yeah. 1 week, Meltzer says that he's going to be back shortly. And next week he said, I might be back shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Next week after that he said, he's training. We don't really know because you don't know. You don't actually talk to some of these guys, so you're just guessing. This is well known, though. What's that?
He just assumes.
He assumes. We assume too, but my sources are better than Meltzer's, it seems, because I
this
report
point.
stuff before he does. But it is well known that Kota Ibushi says that when Omega returns, he will be looking to return with them. Probably, maybe they get the Golden Lovers going again.
I'm with it.
I'm with it. That's
holy shit. That makes sense though. If the Bucks hold on to the titles,
Golden Lovers come back. They win the titles from the Bucks. They save AEW.
And Cody Rhodes comes back. Anyway, what's next? It was a joke. I'm not going to report what I just saw because I don't think there's any truth to it.
So I froze there for a second. Anyways.
I don't want to spread that rumor.
Spread it. That's what we're here for. Fucking spread it.
It involves Britt Baker. It involves Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Do it.
And
I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. Dude, I don't care. We're dirt sheet technically too. So
this is just a Twitter rumor going around that Britt Baker.
See that? What's that word in between news and innuendo?
Rumors.
Okay, cool.
And she cheated on Adam Cole.
Whoa! Why would you say that on air? Now you're gonna look like an idiot. Wow, that sounds like AEW marks just not having any kind of life and digging into stupid shit. If true, you know what? Guess what? It's not the first time in the history of wrestling that has happened. You ever hear the story about what I probably told you this story on air, but Mark Merrow, when he heard out who Sable was cheating on him with?
Oh,
so
Brock,
Mark Merrow,
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Mark Merrow was like, I never understood the meaning of forgiveness more than I did in that moment. So, anyways, yeah, that's wow, that's literally some dudes in their basement going, Britt cheated on Adam
with Christian.
What? Okay, guys, get a life. Seriously, go outside, see some sun, do something, go to the store, talk to human beings. Like, I'm pretty sure Christian Cage has a family. Wow, that's a wild rumor. That there's no way.
No, there's no way.
No way. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Wow. Okay. You really did say that on air. I don't know why you could say that, man. Wow, you're just spreading stupid shit. No reaction. Okay, cool.
You told me to say it. I didn't want to.
That's wild. Okay, seriously, people need to go outside and see the sun. You know what? We keep dude, this was so good. Sean Ross Sapp posted something about Warner Brothers and actually I got it right here. Warner Brothers and AEW finally coming to terms on a deal. There's been a lot of rumors. It's probably true that they are finally at a deal. But Sean Ross Sapp, in his classicness, he reported that the deal's been made. It's like some number, blah blah blah, and somebody's posted like this is what it was. Somebody posted on Twitter on his update about it, and Sean Ross Sapp posted it. This guy posted after he's like, can't wait for the 5th. No deal has been reached, but both sides are super happy with everything, and everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Post. And then Sean Ross Sapp answered him. He's like, you want to apologize for it? You want to apologize? Or, and then the guy replied to him again, it's like, the story hasn't been published yet. So, no, not yet.
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp, he's starting to get annoying as shit on Twitter.
Again, I heard earlier this week again that the deal's been signed, but there's still been no official announcement that the deal's been signed.
Mm-hmm.
No official announcement. So what deal has that? You think a deal would get signed and they'd announce it,
right?
So Sean Ross Sapp, yeah, that was kind of funny. The guy's like, well, it hasn't been announced yet, so no, I will not apologize.
No.
This is another great Dave Meltzer moment. But remember when Dave Meltzer said that Michael Oku will be appearing at Dynamite on Cardiff and then at All In, and that also that he was about to sign a contract with All In
with AEW.
With AEW, yeah. Michael Oku told Grapple that nothing is confirmed regarding him working with AEW despite recent rumors.
Oh, shocker.
Because he didn't show up on Dynamite, he didn't show up at All In, and there's been no contract signed. But Dave Meltzer told us that was the chase.
That it was happening.
And that was happening. It was a done deal.
No.
Anyways.
He said it may. There's a possibility.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he always leaves himself an out. AEW is actively in negotiation with Saraya on her contract, which has option years that could extend her stay with the company. Her current deal expires in September. I want to see her come back to fucking WWE, man. Down on NXT. Let her. I do.
I'm torn on it.
I like her.
I wouldn't mind Saraya back in WWE, but I don't know. She's not. Her in ring isn't as great as it once was, which I know it won't be. But yeah, fuck it. Come on, she'd be good in NXT. Yeah,
come down to NXT. Give some of the younger talents some veteran advice from a woman that literally flipped women's wrestling on its head.
Yep.
And get her in there with Stephanie, get her in there with Julia, get her in there with Roxanne, get her in there with Cora Jade when she comes back in, get her in there with all the young ones, and get she's a vet. Let her do vet shit.
She's great. Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, nonetheless, because the NXT women's division is the strongest in all of wrestling, period. There's no argument. I think she'd be a great like a Shawn Spears to the woman. Like a Shawn Spears to the woman.
Yeah, I can see that. I thought it was going to be Natalia for a minute, but...
she is back. She had that big vignette about her family and shit on SmackDown, was it?
True,
week?
Yeah.
That was fun. That was actually cool. Anyways, nonetheless. Fightful says Jose, the assistant, was backstage on SmackDown with Andrade this past week. He was also apparently at a recent 17A tapings. Who the fuck's Jose, the assistant? You know anything about that?
I got no clue.
I feel like it's something in Andrade's past that he had a manager or something other than Zelina Vega. I don't know. I honestly know nothing about it. But apparently he was backstage with Andrade this past week. I don't know what that's about.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he was okay. He's got a history with Andrade.
Okay. So apparently that's something that's happening eventually, or he's just there. I don't know. This is interesting. This came out on Thursday, the last day that we report for this week of news. WWE is no longer listing Roman Reigns for SmackDown's September 13th debut on USA Network and have removed him from the promotional image and the featured superstars list. He is still included in the rundown for the show on the venue's site.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep him off TV, or are they just going to use it as a surprise now?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they're going to keep him off TV for a little bit.
Yeah.
Make that beatdown look like it was serious. And you know, coming back to that beatdown, which we'll get to on SmackDown, it was absolutely brilliant that nobody came out to help him. Because why would anybody come out to help him? The only one that would have made sense is Jimmy, but Jimmy's injured. Or
But why would?
Chris.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. That's it. Because
Jay
Jay's not
wouldn't.
helping him.
Cody's
Nobody
not
else,
going to.
Nobody else.
Kevin Owens ain't going to. Randy Orton ain't going to.
Cody.
LA Knight ain't going to.
Cody maybe because Cody. No, he shouldn't. But Roman did come.
Well,
out.
nobody did.
Right.
Roman needs to have a redemption arc where he basically begs for people's forgiveness. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to show that he's not the same Roman.
I don't need him.
Se.
I don't need him to beg.
No, I'm not. I just threw a word out there, okay? But nonetheless, he needs to have a redemption arc. You can't just have him being the good guy and everybody loves him again. You know what I mean? He cheated his way through so many matches over the 4 years he was champion, right? Like, why would anybody come and help him? So they're, again, brilliant storytelling. Long story. We're only in the 4th inning, people, of the Bloodline story, and that's not even a joke. That was like maybe a joke at the time, but he wasn't lying. This story is just got layers upon. It's like an onion. It makes you want to cry. You know what I mean? Like, it's that good. Oh fuck. Mercedes Moné, in her Moné Mag newsletter, wrote that she was determined to return to WWE for WrestleMania 40 after a trip to SoFi Stadium. Not 40. I think that's a misprint. I heard it was 39, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure it was 39. It was 39. For WrestleMania 39 after a trip to SoFi Stadium, she changed her mind while attending last year's All-In at Wembley Stadium. The fact that they got 80K rabid and passionate fans to attend an event that wasn't Mania blew me away. It made me excited for wrestling in a way I had not felt in a long time. How many fans were at All In this year?
50.
How many fans were at All In last year?
80.
Do you not see a problem there?
Capacity's 90. 50,000.
But no, do you not see the problem there? That you dropped 30,000 fans in 1 year.
They did.
Does WrestleMania drop fans every year?
No.
Does WrestleMania not pretty much sell out every year?
Yeah, it does.
Do they drop 30,000 fans from one WrestleMania to the next WrestleMania?
No, not a chance.
Do you not see the problem there with AEW All In?
I'm hearing the problem. I'm seeing the problem. Maybe that's why they're not going back to Wembley next year.
Possibly. Dave Meltzer actually said something that made sense for once, and he does it very randomly. But he said WWE did Wembley in 93. They sold it out basically back in 93. He said they haven't gone back since. Why is that? Because WWE knows how to make moments special. AEW going to Wembley every year, it doesn't make it special anymore.
I see what you're saying. Because, you take away the
hype, the special of it, the magic of it. WrestleMania doesn't go to one place every year. They go all over the place. They make hype for it, right?
Right.
They want it to be a big thing. They want people to be like, oh my God, we got to go there. If it's in the same place every year, it doesn't always work. So anyways, nonetheless, dropping 30,000 fans in 1 year is wild. And then for Mercedes to release that statement and not realize the fact that it was well known that only 50,000 tickets for Wembley had been sold this year, and she was talking about the fact that they got 80,000 rabid fans. And does she not have any clue of anything right now? She's just so buried in her own little world, trying to bury the fact that she got pissed off at Vince McMahon and quit the company, and then she either wasn't brought back right away or she wasn't offered what she wanted to come back money-wise or whatever it was. She's just a little spoiled brat at this point, as far as my opinion.
Okay. All right. Speak your truths.
Well, I mean, from all the news report, rumors, whatever, I'm just, from everything I hear about, it just sounds like she's like I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get the money I wanted. I'm only going to do this. And now she's back. She's burying everybody. She gets paid 2 figures or double-digit figures in the millions, whatever it is. Like, she's a spoiled brat. So fuck her. Anyways, nonetheless. Naomi figured out her differences and went back. Like,
True.
so nonetheless. That already happened. Fightful Select Stain has told people that he's going to be in London. We obviously saw that he came out. Speculation continues to swirl on social media about Ricky Starks leaving AEW and signing with WWE. Fightful Select cannot confirm any of those rumors, but did say WWE has significant interest in bringing Starks to NXT once he is available. That makes sense. Ricky Starks and Cody are friends. We know this.
He's going to NXT for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to go there, and I think he's close to Shawn Spears too. So main roster guy probably too. He's great. He's got great charisma. He's good on the mic. In ring is not too bad. NXT he'll probably do really well. Yeah.
Cool. AEW has talked seriously about a world title run for Darby Allin per the Wrestling Observer newsletter. It's not clear when Allin might win the AEW main belt, however.
Well, that's a good question. Yeah. We talked about it. He's got the title shot at Grand Slam. Whoever that champion will be.
I wonder if they do something like this. I swear to God, if this happens, I'll say I won't watch Dynamite ever again, but we will. But Danielson says he's retired. He said he was retiring. I won the title. Now I'm relinquishing it. And then it's announced that Darby Allin's fighting a mystery opponent at Grand Slam for the title. And then they put the title on Darby that way.
Who would the mystery opponent be?
I don't fucking know. Fucking Mercedes Moné. No, she'd probably win the title.
Swerve's the only one that makes sense because he just lost. But they don't do immediate rematches apparently anymore.
Nope.
MJF, fucking do it. I don't care. Put MJF with the title again. I don't care. The only thing that worries me is him relinquishing the title because that's exactly what happened with Sting. And, he won them and they relinquished the titles. I mean, everybody knew it was his last match, but I don't know.
For the tag titles, that's fine. It's whatever. It's not a major title. It's a tag title. I mean, who cares about the tag division half the time? But for your world champion to have that happen, why did you even put it on Danielson in the first place? Let him go out on his shield. Anyways, nonetheless, we can talk about that all day. We both thought it was kind of dumb. And especially it'll be even more dumb if he just relinquishes the title.
Mm-hmm.
Last piece. The Hulk. This is a different thing. We've talked about the Hulk Hogan lawyer trial thing that Ben Affleck, Matt Damon doing. There's another thing that Netflix was doing apparently. It was a Hulk Hogan biopic. The director Todd, it's had nothing but problems since it first got started. I'm sure it has a lot to do with Hulk Hogan being very private about some of his affairs in his life. And I don't mean affairs, but affairs of, anyways, personal affairs. Like, I dig in a hole. Anyways, unless you knew what I meant, maybe. I don't really care. Todd Phillips was the director. He said he has now moved on from the project, so it has hit another glitch. A lot of people think that the project is now just dead in the water.
Yeah, I saw that too. So that means the one with Ben Affleck still a go?
Yes, that's a totally different. That just has to do with the Gawker case where they defamed Hulk Hogan and he won the case.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I don't really have any news. I threw in a couple tidbits throughout, but
I have more, but it's for next week's show because once again we're just kind of doing a special super show.
I did want to add in. I had mentioned it. The card for New Japan Capital Collision taking place this Friday, August 30th. Scheduled on the card is a Strong Survivor match. Matt Vandergriff taking on Alan Breeze. We have a
Matt Vandergriff is
Yep.
He's the one that we like. Yes.
He does the Strong Survivor. It's a kickoff match. We have Mina Shirakawa and Hanako taking on Trisha Dora and Viva Vaughn.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a tag match or a fatal four-way. They're not really listed together. Number one contenders, strong openweight tag team championship 3-way match. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tomohiro Ishii taking on Zach Gibson and James Drake, the Grizzled Young Vets, and Robbie Eagles and Bad Dude Tito.
Okay.
We have a 6-man tag match. Bullet Club War Dogs, David Finlay, Clark Connors, and Drilla Maroney taking on the Team Chaos of Yoshihashi, Rocky Romero, and Kevin Knight. Grudge match. The West Coast Wrecking Crews, Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs taking on Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler. I think we kind of knew about that. The last strong pay-per-view event we had, because Tom Lawler was a part of the West Coast Wrecking Crew, all that stuff. Zack Sabre Jr. is taking on Titan. Naito is taking on TJP.
Let's go.
That could be a good one.
Let's go.
Strong open weight tag team championship is on the line. Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes defending against Virus and Hechicero. Special match. Hiromu Tanahashi taking on Mustafa Ali. The strong open weight championship is on the line. Gabe Kidd defending against the Blackheart Leo Rush. And if I'm not mistaken here, okay. The main event is slated to be the Strong Women's Championship. Mercedes Moné defending against Momo Wanatabe. That is August 30th. Washington.
That sounds like a pretty fucking good pay-per-view, actually.
Momo Watanabe. That is the New Japan Capital Collision card.
I'm actually kind of pumped for that. Outside of the Zack Sabre match, I'm pumped.
The date has been announced for New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom. It will take place January 4th, 2025, right off the new year. We have New Japan Royal Quest in London, England, which is coming October 20th. What else do we have that's been announced? Just so we're catching up here. Seeing if anything special. No, nothing crazy announced for that. Shingo. They're doing a 20th anniversary show in New Japan. It's New Japan Shingo Takagi's 20th anniversary. There's a couple. Actually, there's quite a few matches announced for this. This is taking place September 7th. It's in his hometown. Oh, this is a new pay-per-view. It's the debut of. It's called Shingo Takagi. There's a tournament being held. And he didn't die. It's not his honor. A lot of every match I see is a tag team match.
That's typical with fucking.
The main event is slated to be Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and a mystery partner taking on Naito, Yota Tsuji, and Hiromu Takahashi. Names that pop out: Zack Sabre Jr. is announced to be tagging. I know you'll love that. Some Bullet Club matches. Tomohiro Ishii, Shota Umino's on there. All the usual suspects. And then there's New Japan Destruction in Kobe. This is September 29th in the Kobe World Memorial Hall. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Naito defending against Grado Khan is slated for that, as well as David Finlay versus Yoshihashi.
Okay.
Other than that,
you listed off these cards, kind of like fuck. I've missed watching New Japan actually.
New Japan Pro Wrestling King of 2024 Pro Wrestling. Naito's defending against Zack Sabre Jr.
But don't they have a Wrestle Kingdom match?
I'm just reading that off. I don't know. And then
that's weird because Zack Sabre Jr. has a guaranteed title shot at Wrestle Kingdom.
Correct.
That's weird.
I'm trying to get some shit to load here, but now my phone wants to be stupid. There we go. Just so you care, as we know, Zack Sabre Jr. did win Oh, well, here, that answers the question that you just actually had. So, Zack Sabre Jr., the rule is winner earns the right to challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Yota Tsuji, but after the match, Zack Sabre Jr. announced that he will use his title shot at King of Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
So, I guess that opens up the main event of Wrestle Kingdom to be
Kenny Omega.
Who knows? That's all I got for upcoming events for New Japan. You got anything else?
No, man. Although you have me hyped to start watching New Japan again.
Kinda, yeah. Some of those cards sound pretty interesting. Alrighty. With that being said, quick bathroom break, and yeah, we got some more stuff to get into. All right, bathroom break taken care of. News, rumors, innuendo taken care of. Looking forward, as RK said. Got to get back into the New Japan thing. I haven't watched New Japan in a while. We need to catch up on that stuff. Those cards sound very compelling. But that brings us to diving into the WWE SmackDown from August 16th, 2024.
Let me stop you right there. I just dug into it while you were taking a really long bathroom break. Probably we're sitting down to pee again. So nonetheless, no reaction. I love it. Okay, cool. Anyways, nonetheless, the Casino Battle Royale match that Christian Cage won. It is very similar to a Money in the Bank contract. It means he can cash in for a world title shot whenever he wants.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. I kind of like that. Didn't he win something similar to that to win the TNT title as well?
I do believe so.
Yeah, I think so. So he's just a winner, man. It's a turtleneck. Alrighty. SmackDown, let's get into it.
It's more than a turtleneck, it's a cut off sleeveless
It's insane.
shirt with a turtleneck. I'm gonna find me one, honestly.
You just buy a turtleneck and cut the sleeves off.
Next week's show is gonna be fun.
We kick off SmackDown with Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly welcoming the newly crowned WWE champion Nia Jax to her championship celebration. Jax did say the abundance of pink and the destruction. Did not like the abundance of pink. That destruction was more her style, anyway. Which is why she won the title from Bayley at SummerSlam. Said everyone backstage and in the ring should bow to her, and Tiffany needed to start. Tiffany agreed, but before she could bow, Pretty Deadly had to sing a song for Nia Jax. It was a bit of a preview for their musical that they were working on, but performance gets interrupted by Michin. Michin appears in the ring, attacking Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Pretty Deadly with a kendo stick. Michin has spoiled the party, and she took Tiffany's champagne as well. SmackDown. What just happened to your camera?
Nothing. I was here the whole time. You froze.
You froze.
No, you froze.
What'd you think of the open to SmackDown and Michin being up next for Nia Jax?
Michin's awesome. I love that she's getting a lot of screen time. NXT, SmackDown. She just shows up a lot. She's one of those talents that I think she's really super talented, and I like seeing her on TV a lot. And she deserves the shot. She ain't gonna win, but it could be a very good match.
I agree. We'll see. I assume that's potentially gonna happen on Bash of Berlin, but we will see once we obviously, as we know, this is a super show. We already watched SmackDown from this past Friday, but I don't think we got answers to when that match is happening.
We got a vignette, but I'm not really sure about the date. Nonetheless, we'll get to it next week.
Yep. Up next, Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair watched that segment before Carmelo Hayes joined in and asked if they were going to his after party after he beats Andrade. And Jade Cargill points out that he's 0-2 against Andrade, but good luck. That is the first. That is the first match of the night. Carmelo Hayes, Andrade 3. This time, Carmelo will pick up the win with a bit of a roll-up. I think Andrade beat him with a roll-up, too, in one of these prior meetings. So Carmelo gets a win back on Andrade. What did you think of the match? What stood out? These two are really good. They got good chemistry in the ring together.
Man, this Carmelo needed this win just because he's been
Yes.
taking a lot of losses. This is a high-profile win too because Andrade is definitely established. The chemistry between these two is off the charts, though. These guys do not know how to put on a bad match with each other. It's ridiculous. I could watch them wrestle every week, honestly, for the next year, and I probably would not be disappointed. The roll-up in this case works because it's a back and forth. You're not giving anybody really the upper hand in the matches between them. We'll get a big payoff at some point. It's storytelling, as per usual. It's perfect. This is hot. This is hot. This is really fucking good.
Yeah, and they put on a great match every week. After the match, Andrade and Hayes brawled because Carmelo wanted Andrade to raise his hand after the win and whatnot. Jason Jordan, Petey Williams, Shane Helms all come down with an army of referees to separate them. So we're going to run it back. We're going to do it again. Up next, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga were talking backstage where Solo told Tonga that they would acknowledge Roman Reigns, but only way would be to take the Ula Fala from him. So it was kind of pointing at, he who wears this is the tribal chief, and we will acknowledge him no matter what type of situation. We get a vignette for Giovanni Vinci ahead of his WWE return and his SmackDown arrival.
I'm interested.
We'll see. We'll see if Vinci can.
I'm happy they're trying something because I was kind of worried that he was just gone.
When the split happened, we've talked up Ludwig. We were kind of worried about what was going to go on with Vinci. You know what? I can't sit on.
Giovanni, until I see it, I'm not convinced. I like where they're going with it. I kind of dig it. Ludwig, that dude's got it. I said that. I think I said that months ago. The dude's got it.
And I'm not going to sit on it much longer because I want to get your reaction. This literally is going on a live show that WWE put on as we speak. They're in the Netherlands right now doing live shows as they're building up for the Germany. They're going to Brash Berlin. Gunther, he had a match. Title was on the line. I just saw a picture of who he was up against. Any name? Who do you think Gunther had a match with on a live show? Just give me a name. I'll say this. I'll give you a hint. It would feed families.
How's that a hint?
I don't know. It'd be a banger match. And they've clashed before. In NXT.
I don't watch NXT when Gunther was there.
He's Russian.
Oh, Ilya.
Yeah. Gunther and Ilya are having live show matches.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, dude. I didn't watch. But yeah, no, they do. Those two do put on banner matches.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I just saw that while I was sitting down to pee, as RK says. I don't sit down to pee. Up next, Blair.
Your reaction now doesn't give me the gratification of what I was trying to. Anyways, continue.
Blair Davenport taking on Naomi is up next. Blair's gonna pick up the win here over Naomi, which kind of made sense in my eyes because Blair hasn't really had any wins, I don't think, on the main roster. But this comes on the heels of her helping out the unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to take out Naomi's friends, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. What'd you think of Blair picking up the win here?
I might have to stop listening to this guy. I'm just looking at notes and this guy that I read. I usually love his stuff, but he's like, I'm still not getting the appeal of Davenport. Fucking get it. Blair, there's something about her that just she has something about her that is, I want to say attractive, but not in the physical sense, just everything about her. There's something there, charisma, something. She has an aura about her.
Okay.
What?
I was just gonna make a joke. What do you mean by that? No. I agree with you.
No, I think
I agree.
I'm not gonna hide the fact that I think she's extremely pretty.
Yeah,
and that Riley is extremely lucky. But
I mean, whoever you're reading from,
I think there's something about her that there's an aura about her. I think she has something. But anyways, nonetheless, I have read from multiple people that they don't get her or don't think she has. I think she has it.
I'm gonna tell.
But anyways, nonetheless, something Naomi she's slowed down a bit since her last run with WWE and her run in
TNA.
Thank you. Wow, why did I blank on that?
Technically, it was
something.
Impact, but she didn't really have any matches when TNA rebranded. But
nonetheless, I don't know. She just seems slower. Maybe injury or something. I don't know. But this match wasn't fantastic in any sense. It was nice seeing Davenport get the win here. She needed a win.
What do we got up next? Oh, they showed NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. Perez, she was in the crowd. They also showed Trick Williams as well as Ethan Page because they were in Orlando, Florida. So the Performance Center, NXT, those people were there in the crowd. Backstage, we get Austin Theory. This is a hilarious moment. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and you want to talk about the people you read your stuff from for finally disagreeing with what he said. I'm going to read verbatim what they said on Fightful. Are we ready? This is why I'm going to keep using Fightful, just so we can have these moments right here. Austin Waller and Grayson Waller spoke backstage about Kevin Owens.
That's all he wrote?
No, but the fact that he put Austin Waller and Grayson Waller is just...
Oh, gotcha. I just picked up the fact that if that's all they wrote, it was way more than that.
No. So anyway, where they're showing Grayson Waller being frustrated that Kevin Owens is getting a title match without deserving it, where Kevin Owens appears behind Waller and says, "Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Why am I getting this shot?" And basically,
I'm a loser, right? I'm a loser. I get everything handed to me, right? I don't totally deserve this at all. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Me and you. Easy. It'll be an easy win for you, right? Let's go. And then he chops the hell out of him. Yeah, Kevin Owens is fantastic.
It was good. That was just a fun moment. The whole moment, you had to go back and just watch Austin throughout this whole thing. And then went back and watched again and watched all, and he's just like,
yeah, his reaction, his face is fantastic. Up next, we get a vignette paying tribute to Afa Anoa'i. He passed the other half of the Wild Samoans.
I don't want to make fun of this. Lots of respect to the Wild Samoans, but this clip was basically the exact same clip with slightly different narrative from when they did for
Sega. For Sega, but yeah,
it felt a little weak there, WWE. A little weak on that one. You guys could have maybe did a completely different vignette, but I get it.
Condolences to Afa's family, friends, and of course his fans.
100%. It wasn't a shot at that. It was just a shot at WWE being a little lazy with it.
Up next, Kevin Owens takes on Grayson Waller. Kevin Owens, of course, he's picking up the win here. He wins with a pop-up power bomb. What'd you think of this match? Kevin Owens, of course, was going to get the win. What'd you think of Grayson?
I love Grayson Waller. I think he has the potential to be one of the top heels in this company one day. His in-ring work is great. This was really just kind of a warm-up match for Owens before his big title match with Cody in a couple weeks or next week now. But this is good. Grayson Waller, I think I like him a lot. I think he's probably one of my top guys to watch right now at the moment because his promo work is great. His in-ring work is great. He has a good look. Everything about this guy could be a very top guy in the company for a lot of years to come.
Agreed. Great heel. Natural. He's a natural heel too.
Oh, he just oozes that I want to fucking punch you in the face.
That's fair.
Charisma.
After the match, Owens continued to attack him. Owens continued to attack Waller after the match before he tried to hit a powerbomb on Waller on the apron. Theory pulled Waller away. Waller, and Owens, they had him surrounded with steel chairs. Cody Rhodes, of course, comes in to make the save, laying out Waller and Theory with the chairs. Owens thanks Cody for the assist and hands him the WWE Championship. Was there a little seed planted there?
There's seeds. There's seeds.
We'll talk next week about SmackDown.
Next week, there's more seeds. My buddy texting me something about it, and I'm like, yeah, I think you're looking at it the wrong way, and I got probably a different take on what's going to happen. So,
Tama Tonga's meeting with Solo Sikoa, where he states that he acknowledges Solo as his tribal chief. Solo thanks Tonga and said that they would take out Roman Reigns later tonight. Legado del Fantasma has like is this the meeting at the restaurant? Yes, the meeting at the little restaurant where he tells the group to remind everyone who they are and remind the rest of the roster what fear is. And he vowed to win the United States title next week against LA Knight. LA Knight comes into the ring for a promo after that where he said Escobar was trying to be just like him. LA Knight promised to knock Escobar's head with a BFT in the capital of the USA to retain the United States title. LA Knight said he was fine with Escobar calling him trash, but said he can put Escobar on his ass any day of the week. He's going to hit it and quit it because he's LA Knight.
Yeah. I did like the one line from LA CEO. Yeah. DMD. Yeah. Anyways, the one thing where LA Knight was like, Santos might have forgotten who he is, but next week the BFT is going to make him forget where he is. The shit LA Knight says is good. He's like, hit it, and I quit it.
Backstage,
he's a walking meme.
Catchphrase. Chelsea Green, Piper Nevin are backstage meeting with Mia Yim, where she revealed she had a title match against Nia Jax. Jax pushed her to the wall, all to stop her, and told Nia to get into her office. Chelsea and Piper were trying to get into his office and couldn't, but yeah, that's just the fun story of Chelsea Green not getting her way with Mr. Aldis.
She's so good.
Up next is the main event match, the number one contenders match between the Street Profits and DIY. The Street Profits pick up the win here and are the number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships held by the Bloodline. What do you think of this match? And did you agree with the Street Profits being the ones to get the win?
Yes, because it's been a while since the Street Profits have been at the top of the division in line for a title. Montez Ford is ridiculously good. DIY just came off their championship, very short championship run.
Very short.
They can get back there again, though. They're that good. I do like the Street Profits winning this match. This is a good match. This was a really all action. Whole 15 minutes of the match was action. It was so good.
Yeah, so I agree. I mean, Street Profits earned it. When you put all four of those guys in a ring together, they're going to create really good matches and good chemistry. And yeah, they did their jobs. They picked up the win with the Doomsday Blockbuster. So the Street Profits will take on the Bloodline next week on SmackDown. But we close the show with said Bloodline. Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga come to the ring to call out Roman Reigns. If he wanted the Ulafala, he was going to have to come and take it. Roman makes his entrance and begins the brawl with Solo before Tama makes the save. Roman takes out Tama with a Uranagi before tossing him to the outside. Roman hits a Superman punch and a spear on Solo in the center of the ring, and he gets the Ulafala in his hands and puts it around his neck. And the look on his face was like a rushing sense of, I don't know what's the word
relief.
Here. Relief. Got the Ulafala back. But he didn't have it on long because he was blindsided by the returning Jacob Fatu in a walking boot. And what are you reacting like that for?
No, Dave Meltzer said that they're going to keep Jacob Fatu off TV for months to keep him away from Roman Reigns.
Well, he was wrong because Jacob Fatu came back with a boot and demolished Roman Reigns.
Tuna Meltzer told us that Jacob Fatu would not meet up with Roman Reigns until he was ready to.
Well, he was wrong. Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu beat down Roman Reigns.
The whole world is just
triple power bombed Roman through the broadcast table. Solo put the Ulafala back on and stood tall to end SmackDown.
That just shows that Jacob Fatu, he is probably the only guy right now that feels like he's a legitimate threat to Roman Reigns. Solo, no. Tama and Tonga, no.
Cody, but
but you don't have that feud right now.
Right.
Roman Reigns got bigger. Like out of this whole feud that's going on right now, Jacob Fatu is the only one out of that whole group that makes you feel like, oh shit, this guy could do it. If there is a guy that could beat Roman Reigns, it's Jacob.
Yeah, I think we said it before. We said that before. So Yeah, I'd agree with you. That was SmackDown. Let's keep things moving along here to Monday Night Raw. We opened things up with Randy Orton. Orton said Gunther made things a little personal when he brought up his family, when he brought up his father and his grandfather. So he had to drop him with an RKO. Gunther came out, being the heel that he is, insults the crowd, said Randy will never hit him with another RKO.
Man, was this crowd hot for that? Oh, so good.
He said he would leave Randy
And
bloody
Gunther did a fantastic job playing off of it too.
Oh, he's a great heel. He does his job great. Said he would leave Randy bloody in Berlin and called Randy an underachieving one-trick pony. Just as they were about to fight, Ludwig appeared from behind and hit a chop block on Randy Orton's leg. Gunther hit him with a clothesline. And after a commercial break, we learned that it would be Orton versus Kaiser later tonight, with I think it ends up being the main event match. Sheamus cuts a promo right before going out for his upcoming match with Pete Dunne. That match takes place. Sheamus, Pete Dunne.
Hey, say it right. Pete, don't call me Butch Dunne.
Yeah, that's what Sheamus said. Sheamus, Pete Dunne. Sheamus picks up the win over Pita. What'd you think of this match here?
Sheamus is a vet, a legend. Honestly, Sheamus goes in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, without a doubt. It's crazy how long Sheamus has been around and the wars that he went through with Cena. He was like the rival for Cena for a bit post Edge. And yeah, Sheamus, fantastic.
The finish here was just wild. Out of the corner, you think Pete Dunne has the win, and then the big boot out of fucking nowhere. I was just like, holy shit, he just took Pete's head off.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good match. It was a hard-hitting match. Pete Dunne's legit, man. He truly is. You've knew about Pete Dunne for a while, though. I've really just kind of got him in the last couple of years. So,
there's a fantastic match, Pete Dunne, Will Ospreay, when Pete Dunne had the WWE NXT UK Championship. Just a little random match they did in the UK. It's a good watch if you go find it. Odyssey Jones, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods are prepping for their match where Xavier finally tells Kofi that he feels like Kofi's trying to replace Big E. Kofi says nobody can do that. He's just trying to help a younger star in Odyssey because he understands what it feels like. And it seems that Xavier is on board with the idea.
Yeah.
I
like it. No,
not at all. We get a Braun Breaker video.
So I had a crazy thought after this, and I just thought of it again. I think it was the last couple of days I thought about it. I was at work. I was like, oh, actually, that makes sense. Follow me on this. They're having all this inner strife between, Kofi, Xavier, bringing Odyssey in. Is he replacing Big E? All this shit. And why did Siri just activate? No, Siri, go away. Stop. End. Yeah, you don't know how to respond to that because I'm telling you to fuck off. Anyways, did I say Siri?
No, you said follow me on this. That's all I got.
Okay, anyways, follow me on this. Xavier, Kofi, strife. Bringing Odyssey Jones in. He thinks he's trying to replace Big E. They have this big, what's going on? Are we going to split? You can't split the New Day. It's the New Day. Yes, it is. So who has to come back to put the group back together? Big E shows up. He's like, guys, we can't be like this. We are a group. We can welcome others into the group. We are a team. And then they just have a big old hug it out and everyone's good.
And then right when they go to hug it, Xavier Woods super kicks Big E. You want to make a heel?
I mean, sure, take away the feel-good moment, but okay.
We get a Braun Breaker.
Nonetheless, I'm roundabout way of saying I think Big E gets involved in this somehow to either end the feud or split it fully or get them back together. I think Big E somehow comes into this, plays into this somehow.
Braun Breaker. He gets a vignette saying, doesn't matter who it is, I'm going to crush it. Braun Breaker is the next big thing. That's it. Simple as that. Chad Gable, Creed Brothers are officially welcoming Ivy Nile to American Made. Gable says they'll focus on the Wyatt Six once they're done with dealing with American Alpha. Ivy Nile versus Maxine Dupree kicks off after this. It ends in a no contest. Why? Because the Wyatt Six arrived on the scene. American Made hit the ring and got between Nikki Cross and Ivy Nile. The rest of the Wyatts showed up, and there was a brawl. Uncle Howdy got physical, laying out Chad Gable with Sister Abigail. The match itself with Maxie and Ivy was
nothing they can do with there right now is wrong. This is
No.
everything to do with the Wyatt Six is awesome.
And yeah, it was good shit. Nikki Cross getting physical with Ivy Nile was great. Uncle Howdy, Chad Gable, that's great. And it was announced later in the show.
We're
getting Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable on the next episode of Monday Night Raw.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, and as we speak right now, it's today on my end. So yeah, Wyatt Six, they're doing their thing. What you think? Is there anything that you can or can't say?
I just said what everything they do is awesome,
and they have done no wrong. What do we get?
This is okay. So this is perfect how they're because everything they do, just little pieces, a little piece. So what does it do? It's like fuck. I want to see what they do next. I want to tune in next week to see what are the Wyatt Six up to. Just little pieces. They're not just giving it away all at once. They're just here's this.
Uncle Howdy in the ring. I want to see it. Rhea Ripley, Damon Priest cut a promo on Liv and Dom, basically saying,
so good.
We're gonna beat your ass.
Such a good promo.
The Terror Twins. They are fantastic.
This might be absolutely the best version of Damian Priest I've seen.
Fantastic.
Out of all his gimmicks. Like
fantastic. He's I'm happy that the loss to Gunther didn't hurt him because it hasn't.
No.
It hasn't hurt him one bit.
This last it's a little tweak. He's more like street thug now.
He's a badass babyface.
Whatever it is, this is the best version of Damian Priest, and that is wild because I loved his Archer gimmick. Absolutely loved it. But he's for a guy of his age to develop from where he was like 3.5 years ago to where he is now is ridiculous. People got to study on that fucking like up and coming talent. Even guys that are just been kind of toiling in the mid cards, study what this guy has done because he went from being an indie guy to a low mid card guy to being probably one of the biggest things in wrestling. And he all did that in his mid to late 30s.
Being Money in the Bank winner and a world champion. I mean, incredible.
And he did it in his mid to late 30s. That's wild.
So you're telling me I have a chance. CM Punk hits the ring.
Diamond Dallas Page did it. He didn't start wrestling until he was in his 30s.
That's true. CM Punk, he has hit the ring, and he has recapped his time at Fanatics Fest in New York City. And then he makes an announcement. He's challenging and confirming that he will be fighting Drew McIntyre in a strap match at WWE Bash in Berlin. Drew McIntyre comes out and accepts the challenge. And they tease about going in the ring and fighting right then and there. But instead, the usual Drew teasing him about, I got your wife. I got your dog. I got your life. I know I skipped over probably some great quotes. I was going to give you those to you. Anything you wanted to talk about that Punk said or Drew said during this segment?
Punk is a cancer. He's a horrible person. He even went on to talking about how he met fans. A fan from Taiwan said she had flown 15 hours to meet him. Complete cancer. A girl who beat cancer and said Punk was an inspiration. How can cancer beat cancer? I don't get it. Absolutely horrible person. No, CM Punk loves where he is right now. He's happy. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He's making friends with everybody. He's just a happy guy right now. I love it. He's one wild thing he said, and you pointed out because I didn't pick up on it, but he said to the crowd, I haven't stood in this rain in Florida in a very long time, and fans like this drive him. And you're like, isn't AEW out of Florida at the time that he was there?
Yeah.
Anyways, nonetheless, he was talking about in a WWE ring in Florida. But it was kind of a shot at, I only count AEW as a time that I was a wrestler. He wasn't happy there. Tony Khan, actually, I'll bring it up on the news next week because it kind of pissed me off. But nonetheless, Drew's good. The girl who gave CM Punk that bracelet, she posted a picture on Instagram or Twitter or something. She's like, I was at the show on Monday. I didn't get to see Drew to give him his new bracelet that I made for him, and she held up the bracelet in the picture while Drew and CM Punk were in the ring, and it said Keyboard Warrior on it.
I like that. Up next, Liv Morgan and Dom are cutting a vignette responding to what Damian and Rhea had said earlier, and Dom, shockingly, challenges Damian to a match later in the show.
It's not shocking. He knows he's got backup.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. The New Day and Odyssey Jones defeat Karrion Kross in the AOP. Yeah. It was a decent little match. Quick match. AOP. I feel bad for Kross and AOP getting another loss here. But that seems.
No, I don't really give a shit about AOP, really, honestly. But Karrion Kross, I just think he's so underutilized. And you know, he's a Triple H guy, 100%. That's why he came back as being able to just beat Karrion Kross again. But I think that we talked about it last week. The momentum is dead with him, and Triple H. I think he's going to try to keep figuring it out because Karrion Kross is good. It's not resonating. I think he's getting a little bit of heat, but not enough heat. I think if he went solo, it might work a little better. If it was just him and Scarlett, maybe the group is not helping it resonate well enough. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think everything Kross does, promo-wise and in the ring work, is great. It's just not hitting, and I don't want to see him disappear because I like Karrion Kross a lot.
Agreed. We get Rhea Ripley telling
David. One part in that, more of the possible split of New Day, the hot tag going to Odyssey instead of Xavier. Just little things like that. It's little cool.
Hints. Rhea tells Damian that Dom's challenge was most likely a trap. Damian suspected it, but he felt getting his hands on Dom would be worthwhile, stating that they should not stop until they have passed judgment on the Judgment Day. Bronson Reed and The Miz have a match, a no DQ match, where The Miz, right before this match, he was talking to Adam Pearce, and Pearce asked him, "Are you sure about this?" And Miz says, "No." But, and then in the most babyface promo, "I'm sticking up for my friend, and I got to do what I got to do." I was like, oh, Miz, he knew he was getting himself into.
So The Miz was talking to Cody Rhodes, I think, and he says, "I love being a heel. I love fans hating me." He's like, "The only problem is right now is I'm teamed with R-Truth, and that man is the most beloved man in the history of wrestling."
I haven't watched. I got to watch those little podcast things that Cody's been putting out. What do you want to talk about? He's had LA Knight on there, Miz.
Apparently, the Randy Orton one is just wildly emotional.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I'll have to tune into those while I'm at work. So Bronson Reed's gonna pick up the win here.
No, seriously, don't listen. If you don't listen to Randy Orton, apparently, like Cody, basically cries at the end of it because of the conversation the two of those have.
Jesus, now I definitely have to watch it. So Bronson gets the win with the tsunami, of course. Afterward, Reed was going, let's go up for more tsunamis, but Braun Strowman.
Dude. Okay, I gotta tell you this story.
Yeah, go ahead. I think I know where you're going.
So Cody Rhodes telling this story about somebody asked him if Randy Orton is crazy or some shit like that, and Cody's like, or said Randy Orton's a nice guy or something. He's like, "No, he's not. He's a maniac or something." Back in the day, so he's like, we were on tour in Japan, I think it was, and he's like, there was this moment where I was a kid and I go into the bathroom and Randy's there. He's just full on hugging a toilet, and he looks up and he goes, "Hey, Cody, want to see something cool?" And Cody's like, "What?" And Randy just rips the urinal off the freaking wall. Water's pouring out. It's going out in the lobby. Just water everywhere. And it's just like, I don't know. Cody's, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can be a wrestler. I don't think I can do this. I don't want to do this. And Randy just looked at it. And then the next day they're in a meeting. They're trying to figure out, the brass are trying to figure out who did it. And Randy stands up at the front and goes, "Yeah, I want to know who did that. Who did that?" It's just like, holy shit. Randy was apparently an animal back in the day.
I think that all started off was, I heard he's like, so I heard Randy's a good guy now, and I just won't stand for it. I can't stand
that's
for it.
What it was.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But yeah, anyway, Bronson.
Oh yeah, Randy's a good guy. He's a family man now. He's a good guy. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
No, I don't want it. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. That seems to be where we're headed. While we apparently wait for Seth Rollins to return and take on Bronson Reed. Sheamus is cutting a promo. He's interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser and teases him that he's going to be in the main event while Sheamus was in the opening match. Kaiser said that after he's done beating Randy, he's going to come back to finish business with Sheamus. Braun Breaker announces a tournament has been set to determine his next challenger for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and he says, don't care who wins, he's going to beat them no matter what, but he's probably correct in that.
It's not my fault that I'm a genetic freak, but I'm going to spear the winner right through the floor. He's
so good. So good. Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio does not get started at all. Carlito immediately attacks Damian during the entrance. Priest attacks him and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Rhea appears behind Dom, headbutts him, and is ready to put him through the announce table, but Liv arrives with the steel chair, and the New Judgment Day take over from there, obliterating the Terror Twins and standing tall over Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
I feel like, so the week before, Damian and Rhea tore through the Judgment Day, and then everyone's on the internet.
Kind of.
Everyone on the internet is like, oh, what? These two can stand up against 5, but Roman Reigns can't stand up against 3? Who's Roman Reigns? And compared to those two. So I feel like this was kind of like a correction to that.
I feel like it was setting the seeds that they're not as strong as they may seem, because technically Damian and Rhea have not got their hands on Liv and Dom like they want, because every time one or the other is rescued. We're going to get it at Berlin. Mixed tag.
I can't wait to see Dom eat a fucking riptide, man.
Please do it. Just do it. And honestly, he can hit her with a 619 too. Why not?
So we were at that conversation. It's like, what's
week,
the problem with having dudes wrestle the girls, right? And then I saw that clip of Thea Hale fucking top rope superplexing Stone,
Mr. Stone,
at a live event, and I was just like, oh shit, okay, cool. Okay, they're doing it. Let's go.
I think it'll be all right. I think they can do it.
I don't think you're going to get full on. But then again, they had fucking Nia Jax get RKO'd and speared and all that shit in the Royal Rumble. So
she entered the Men's Royal Rumble. She knew what she was getting into.
So I think we're gonna have. I think it's going to be a better match than I originally was thinking because of that. I think it's going to be a really good match.
Up next, triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn defending as Damage Controls, Kairi Sane and Io Sky, and Pure Fusion Collective, Shayna Baszler and Pure Fusion Collective, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Unholy Union retains here in a okay match. Alrighty.
Yeah, it was an okay match. I like Dawn and Fire though. They get a little bit of heat. People don't think they're legit. I think they are. I think Dawn and Fire are a really good tag team. They tore up the UK to NXT for a long time.
Yes. Yep. What do we got? New Judgment Day. Gloating about the beatdown of Priest and Ripley. Tune into Monday Night Raw and see what happens going forward. That'll be the go home show before Bash at Berlin coming up. Jackie Redmond interviews Jey Uso and announces he will be in the WWE Intercontinental Championship tournament, which starts on Monday Night Raw. We get a Pat McAfee farewell vignette. He is leaving Monday Night Raw to do College Game Day for the foreseeable
future. Back in January. He'll be back in January.
Be back in January to do the Netflix, the first episode. I don't know. I assume, is it going to be back full time, or maybe he'll miss a couple dates? The way college
probably miss a couple days, but I imagine for 100% that Netflix is like, you got to have Pat.
For the I know show. The way they did things last year with Pat McAfee's show, they were a part of the national championship game in college football, which happens January-ish time. And then with the expansion of college football playoff going to 12 teams, who knows? He's probably going to be all hands on deck for college football season. And he's probably going to be doing something with ESPN regarding the Super Bowl in February. So we'll see how he does things.
Did you see the kickoff show from Dublin? and Sheamus picking the fucking winner.
He's the
Georgia
only one that
Tech.
picked Georgia Tech. Everybody else picked Florida State. Sheamus said, "Nah, I'm going with Georgia Tech," and he was right.
Going with his heart.
Go look at Pat on the show Friday in Ireland. They're live in Dublin on his show every day, and Pat is hammered. Pat is drunk off his ass in Ireland in a pub, and you can see him with a Guinness in his hand. They give him a Guinness. He looks at it like, ooh. Goes to take a drink. Couldn't even take a drink. He's like, can't do it. Yeah, they had a hell of a show on Friday. Sheamus was a part of that as well. Anyway, Pat's been on for a while, sadly, but tis what tis. Main event time, Randy Orton taking on Ludwig Kaiser. This was actually a really good match. We talked about Ludwig. Ludwig's got it, and he showed a lot in this match. He, of course, is not going to pick up the win over Randy Orton, but he had a good showing. Randy picks up the win here. And we closed Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton brawling with Gunther. We just went off air with the brawl still going on. What did you think of Randy Orton and Ludwig?
Good match. Could have been better. It's just kind of a build-up. It's a typical build-up for Randy's going against Gunther, and if Gunther has, like any opponent has a partner, the challenger beats up the lackey. It's kind of typical booking 101. So that kind of takes away from the match because you're like, yeah, you know how this is going. But it had its moments. It was a very hard-hitting match. Ludwig he can hold his own. He's good. He's very good. I think he has a future in this business. But yeah, it was just a typical, I'm going to beat up your lackey because I'm coming after you.
Agreed. Well, that's Monday Night Raw. Looking forward to the next episode of Raw with a lot of hype building towards Bash at Berlin. That brings us to our final show recap of this episode, and that is NXT. We open up seeing Izzy Dame has attacked Carmen Petrovich in the NXT parking lot, taking her out of contention for the gauntlet match for the number one contender spot against Roxanne Perez.
Just hold up. Wait for the greatest feel-good moment of the year in this show. Just a heads up.
Okay. He's giving you a feel-good warning. Get welcomed in with Chase University.
Just get your tissues ready. Get your
Chase University kicking off the show to celebrate their title win. Andre Chase thanking Ridge Holland for his efforts to improving the school and bringing gold back to Chase U. Supersonic Duo appear, interrupt, and say they want a rematch. But Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne confront them and said, you got to go through us before you get a title shot. They accept and said, we'll see you later tonight. But no. Duke and Riley got their gear on underneath their clothes, and they're ready to go. And that is our opening match. Seeing the Supersonic Duo of Axiom and Nathan Frazier taking on Chase U. Supersonic Duo is going to pick up the win, though, of course, I think, over Riley Osborne and Duke Hudson. What did you think of the opening match to NXT?
Run-of-the-mill idea here. It was just basically going, yeah, these guys deserve their rematch, and it's probably going to set up a rematch at No Mercy for the titles. I still think Chase U holds on to those titles for a while. I still think we inevitably get the Axiom Nathan Frazier split. Imagine seeing those two in a one-on-one match.
It'd be a banger. It'd be an absolute banger. Oh. Agreed. Ava speaking with Stevie Turner and Robert Stone saying Carmen Petrovich has to be removed from the gauntlet match later. Izzy Dame attempts to insert herself into the match, but Ava says nope, and they put Brindley Reese in instead of Izzy. Brindley Reese runs to Carly Bright and Kendall Gray, telling her she was shocked she was chosen, but was looking forward to the match tonight. Ren Sinclair interrupts and told Reese and Gray that she would win the gauntlet and bring gold to the Ren QCC. The no quarter catch crew, Ren Sinclair. I kind of like the partnership they've developed there.
Ren's she's got some charisma to her. There's just something there that she's just subtly hilarious. She's fucking hilarious. Also, did you notice the whole time in the background fucking Kalani Jordan was looking for something?
Yes, she was, and we will get answers to what she was looking for right now as Wendy Chu takes on Lola Vice. Wendy Chu is going to pick up the win via a pillow strike. Hit her with her pillow that she drags to the ring. Before we get to the finish match itself, anything to talk about with it?
I have a hard time getting hyped for any Lola Vice match, honestly. But I am intrigued by Wendy Chu. I'm kind of digging what's going on here.
Well, Wendy Chu won with the pillow strike, and the reason she won with the pillow strike is because inside of that pillow was Kalani Jordan's NXT Women's North American Championship. Kalani came out to the ring, but Vice hit her with a back fist. Apparently, right? Am I reading that right? Yes. Lola went for a back fist, hit Kalani. Kalani challenged Chu to a match. Chu accepted. Kalani took her down, dragged her title out of the pillowcase. So it seems like Wendy Chu versus Kalani Jordan probably taking place at NXT No Mercy.
I think that was
it confirmed?
That's what Kalani said it was at No Mercy.
Okay. They didn't add that in the rundown. Maybe they should be better at that.
I mean, Kelly you keep reading from the same fucking site you read from every week. I have to
now.
Better.
It's funny now. Kelly Kincaid.
So it's kind of like, I get it. It's kind of like how I'm pretty sure at this point WWE has turned Tongaloa's botches into a gimmick. I'm almost positive of it.
Maybe. We get an interview with Wesley ahead of his match where he promised to send Pete Dunne back to Raw and Joe Hendry back to TNA. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Hendry backstage where he scolded Lee for attacking the Rascals and promised to make a believer out of him and everyone, and he would win the main event later tonight. Joe Hendry promising the people would all believe. Up next, the NXT Women's Championship #1 contenders No Mercy Gauntlet match featuring Jada Parker, Ren Sinclair, Adriana Rizzo, Carmen Petrovich was taken out and replaced by Brynlee Reese.
What? Wow, dude. Did you? You're right into the match right now? You're into the match right now?
No, I'm reading the names of people that were in the match.
And then what are you going to go on to the match?
Probably.
Did you forget about the creation of the Fatal Influence group? Yeah, you did. Okay, cool. Awesome. Your site's great. So anyways, Fallon Henley and JC Jane rant about the lack of respect for the veterans. They only have one person who listens to them, and that's Jasmine Nix. They came up together in this business, and they are now going to be called the Fatal Influence.
And that they accepted Jasmine Nix with them because she sees and agrees with the thinking and the thoughts. Nope, that was not on my list, so we're going to keep using it just because it's funny to tell them how much you guys suck on your show rundowns. Back to the NXT Women's Championship.
That's why Top Rope Renegades is going to... I guess we are the #1 weekly review wrestling podcast. If you're not listening to us, you're not getting the proper news, people.
It's true. The gauntlet match consisting of Solruka, Kendall Gray.
And we're fucking hilarious. Honestly, I'm
you yell at me for cutting you off all the time, but yeah, you do it a lot too. Solruka.
I do it just to piss you off, though.
Solruka, Kendall Gray.
When I say stuff, I actually have stuff to say.
Okay. Solruka,
you just read off of secondary.
Carmen Petrovich was replaced by Brynlee Reese, Adriana Rizzo, Ren Sinclair, and Jada Parker. Jada Parker picks up the win here after.
Hey, usually I cut you off for important reasons. Like you would have totally skipped over that whole Fatal Influence thing.
Yeah, no, good job. Jada picks up the win here in the gauntlet match. She hit a drive-by on Soul.
You know what? You know you like
match. Jada was interviewed after the match where she said she had next title and she was going to win. Do we both agree that I don't think Jada's beating Roxanne Perez?
No, not a chance.
What did you think of the gauntlet?
It's good. It was fun. It had its moments. The ending sequence, I wasn't a huge fan of. It honestly looked like Jada got knocked out quickly, or the wind knocked out. I don't know. The ending sequence didn't look really good. But other than that, it was good action. Like lots of crazy shit happened. So I mean, you expect that in a gauntlets match, and yeah, it was a fun match.
Up next, NXT champion Ethan Page is being interviewed. He gets interrupted by Pete Dunne, who promises he's going to win the main event tonight to snap Page's fingers and take the NXT title. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger taking on the Good Brothers. They're going to pick up the win over the Good Brothers here. A little rub for Hank and Tank. What'd you think of this match?
the OC's job now, man. They're the vets putting over the younger talent, and Hank and Tank actually deserve it. Hank and Tank are fun, so
Yes.
I think they got something there too. I say that a lot about a lot of WWE young talent, but the WWE does develop talent really fucking well. I mean,
Agreed.
how can you honestly think about it for as long as it's been since I've been watching it as a kid, when you've been watching it, they produce superstars all the fucking time.
They're really. I mean, that's what they do. They really do. I mean,
this isn't even a shot at AEW. AEW is very young still as a company. Right. But how many homegrown talents do they really have right now?
Well, technically none. Technically none. I mean, all the wrestlers that they have started on the indies, which, to be fair, could have been similar, to how WWE got their start. But, I mean, I guess if you're getting technical, Britt Baker is the OG.
Probably.
She didn't do much, as I recall, in the indies. Her name wasn't mentioned much in my eyes. Britt, I guess you really can't say Darby. You can't say their careers got bigger, yes, with AEW.
Darby, well, we got national recognition at that point.
MJF, but homegrown, Daniel Garcia, maybe.
That's not even a shot at AEW at this point because they are a very young company.
Well, they don't.
But
have
they need a proper developmental program, and I hope it's kind of weird that they're going to Ring of Honor for that. But if they are going to use Ring of Honor for that, let's see them use it properly to grow talent.
What WWE is doing now is different than everyone else. Is they're doing the NIL deals with these college athletes, and if they have an interest in the professional wrestling industry, hook them up with the NIL deal, bring them in and train them. And that's where a lot of these, almost all the girls that were in that gauntlet match were NIL athletes. I think actually all of them were. And they're doing a damn good job with these college athletes, bringing them in. Jasmine Nix is one of them, even though she sided with the two that went through not college, but they're killing it. There's a match coming up with Dion Lennox, a college athlete. He looked pretty good in his showing. So I think they're doing pretty good with their NIL deals. They're doing it different than anyone else is now. They're not doing there's still the few indie signings that they bring in. Javon Evans, for one, was 19 doing the indie shows, and they're like, yeah, we want him. But you really haven't seen many of these big names coming back to WWE or taking them from other companies. What is the name? What does Cody count? Kind of, yeah.
Cody developed in WWE though.
Cody got better when he left WWE though.
Yeah, but you can't think that what he learned from the likes of Randy Orton and all those guys didn't help him.
No, but when he left, he found and figured out who he was.
100%. He was stuck in gimmick hell.
Yeah. So I mean, anybody signed from other recently? Ethan Page is the only one that comes to mind. Sean Spears, I guess. I'm just thinking of names that were signed. That
Sean Spears was with WWE for a long time beforehand.
With that weren't these college athletes that they signed.
Nonetheless, yes, I know what you're saying.
But they're doing a great job of building stars for the future. Braun Breaker, there you go. There's your fucking best example right there. So yeah, it's intriguing. Up next,
my favorite example is Thea Hale started with the company when she was still in high school.
Oh yeah,
look at her now.
She's blowing up. Sean Spears brawled with Idris Inofe and Malik Blade backstage, and Inofe tossed Spears into the soundboard stage. No quarter catch crew. Miles Borman, Sinclair, and NXT Heritage Cup champion Charlie Dempsey cut a promo to celebrate Dempsey's title win. When Sinclair takes over and speaks for Dempsey, saying he would face anyone, anytime for the title, and then they immediately regretted their decisions because Obafemi came out, and Rin's reaction was, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Oba comes out and is declared himself the most dominant champion in NXT. It seems he's going to challenge Charlie for the Heritage Cup, but then he is interrupted by the family. Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks, Lorenzo, Luca Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo. D'Angelo saying he had his sights on something else now, and that was not the Heritage Cup. But don't forget, I never forget. And it seems like Tony is taking a shot at the NXT North American Championship that Oba holds. We get a brawl between the No Quarter Catch crew and the family, while Tony D hits a spine buster on Oba Femi. Pretty clean one at that. Does Oba Tony do anything for you, or is Oba just kind of
Yes.
you really
D'Angelo is a power hitter,
true?
power wrestler. He's gonna. I don't know if he beats Oba, but he's gonna work Oba. He's a guy that has this. It was like Josh Briggs against Oba. You know what I mean? Like a big guy, big powerful guy. Oba needs that kind of opponents to look strong. Oba beating up on Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's half your size, man. Like,
right.
But Oba beating guys like Josh Briggs, Dijak, shit like that, D'Angelo makes him look even more of a beast.
Backstage, Rin sets the Heritage Cup down next to Javon Evans and asks him to keep an eye on it for her while she handles some things. He's looking at it, intrigued by it. Gallus comes by and basically tells Javon that his wrestling style was not worthy of the Heritage Cup. They seem to get a little hostile. Cedric Alexander comes and joins and backs up Javon Evans, leading to Ashante the Adonis taking on Dion Lennox. Shanti's going to pick up the win over here, the young talent. What do you think of this match and the call to have Ashanti beat the new guy?
Move on.
Fair enough. The Metaphor promised to beat Fatal Influence next week. Lexus King tried to hit on Jackson, or wait, tried to get on. Did he? He tried to get on their good graces. Did he?
Not really.
Well, they didn't buy it. Aura met with Jackson and Legend where they said they have to keep it together. Things haven't been right since Noam's been injured, but they had to lock it in and be the Metaphor.
I'm pretty sure like Lexus King went up to them and was like, "How's the Meta 2 doing?"
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what he was thinking he was going to do there. Anyway,
so I guess you could consider him trying to hit on them. I guess, but I don't know if it was that.
Alrighty, main event time though. NXT Championship #1 contenders match. Joe Hendry, Wesley, Pete Dunne. Joe Hendry picks up the win here. Joe Hendry is #1 contender for the NXT title. How did we get there, RK? What did you think of the match? And I know you agreed with the decision.
This is that feel-good moment of the year right here. Because if you don't believe in Joe Hendry, you better believe in Joe Hendry. That guy is going to win a world championship in the WWE. And it's going to start with the NXT championship. Just because of the wild thought that a TNA star is going to hold that title is kind of wild. You can't deny the worldwide sensation that Joe Hendry has become. You can't deny it.
Nope.
The ending was cool. Trick coming in to the camera work on that was really good because Trick was sneaking in. You saw the whole thing going on, and all of a sudden Trick's just there, hits the Trick knee. Beautiful. Like you didn't really see that ending coming. You're like, what the fuck? But Joe Hendry, man.
Yeah.
The dude's top tier right now.
What happened is it seemed like Joe was in control. Ethan Page interrupted things to set up Joe not winning. Trick appeared out of nowhere to hit Pete Dunne with the trick shot to allow Joe to pick up the win.
Ethan Page was doing everything to not let Joe win this match.
Joe still got it, stood tall to end the show. We had Zachary Wentz who jumped through the crowd to attack Wesley. It seems like that match is going to take place at No Mercy. But all in all, Joe Hendry will become the first ever TNA wrestler to main event a WWE pay-per-view, a WWE show.
And what's actually kind of wild about the whole thought of him possibly beating Ethan Page, what's wild, even more wild about that whole thought is the fact that he would win the NXT title before he wins the TNA title.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Am I convinced? I don't know if he wins. I really do. I love Ethan Page as the NXT champion.
I do, 100%. I think he's a fantastic job. I really dig everything about that. I just kind of want to see the craziness of a Joe Hendry winning the NXT title. I would laugh because it'd be funny as shit that the fact that you got a TNA star that can't win the TNA World title, or not necessarily can't, but hasn't, and he
Right.
wins the NXT title, and he's not even an NXT roster. It's just the concept is just mind blowing.
Well, that was NXT. Joe Hendry stood tall. He will be taking on Ethan Page at No Mercy. I think we have one more NXT show before that, or am I wrong?
When is No Mercy's this weekend? No,
maybe.
I think it is. I think we got two pay-per-views this week.
Is that on Sunday? Could be on
3
Sunday.
pay-per-views if you consider that strong.
Technically 4. I think there's a TNA pay-per-view on Friday too.
September 1st.
Okay, we got a while. Wait.
So Sunday is NXT. Saturday is Bash in Berlin. Friday is
Capital Collision. Yep. We're booked this weekend.
We haven't had a weekend of wrestling in Wall.
Get ready. We're gonna have a prediction super show.
We should actually.
This has been the Super Show. But before we get out of here, I think it's fair we include the pay-per-views in these. Who was your wrestler of the week? We are including All in London with this.
Wrestler of the week. I gotta go from his promo on Dynamite to his match, even though he lost. I gotta go Swerve Strickland.
Ooh, I like that pick. I was thinking Swerve, but I think I'm gonna go Danielson just because Danielson actually looked like the Danielson I wanted him to look like.
I just think Swerve was on point with everything this week.
Mm-hmm. Show of the week.
I gotta go 3 weeks in a row. I gotta go Raw again.
You're going Raw. I'm going All in London. I'm going All in London just because of that main event.
No.
That MJF Ospreay match.
Show of the week, not match of the week. Show of the week.
Show of the week.
You can go All In. I just don't agree with your opinion on it was Show of the week because the first half of All In was boring as shit.
I thought it was a good show. Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's a good. No, you're making a good point. I'm thinking too much about the couple matches from it.
The last half of that show, the last 4 matches, even the Mercedes Brit match, the last 4 matches were amazing.
I enjoyed it.
The first half was so fucking boring.
I enjoyed NXT this week.
NXT was great. I just think Raw is on fire right now. I'm
going to go against the grain. Raw was great, but I'm going to go NXT. I'm just going to go NXT this week. Switch it up a little bit. That's that. With that being said, as this is a later episode, Super Show, as RK said, we're in London. We're home now. What a whirlwind.
A lot of traffic. What a
whirlwind day. But we appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much. We'll be back this week with all sorts of stuff we got to work on, trying fitting in our busy lives. But we appreciate every single one of you that watch and listen and tune in. RK, you have any parting words?
Yes, thank you to Mr. Olivier for the episode if it wasn't for it.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. With that being said, that's RK. I'm Kurt. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time on the Top Rope Renegades. Bye.